All right, we're live. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Monday nighttime stream. It's Tuesday morning, technically. We're starting at 2 a.m. in the morning. It just gets later all the time. Let me go ahead and click on this. We got to start earlier, not later. All right, the menu is getting uploaded. Pricing up the CGC return. Oh, yeah. Vertical Night Tuesday. Live card shop. We don't need to say vertical, do we? Let's say 151 surprise case break. For sale, live card shop. Let's hit save on that. All right, that's good. Looks like Alex has already posted. That's good. All right, all right. We got the order from Joshua Collings for a spot in the 151 surprise break. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Huh. It says my Quaker Oats oatmeal bars arrived. I didn't see those. This says I spent some money on Phoebe. Okay, let's close this out. And so we're ready to make two new submissions, a CGC submission and a tag submission. I gotta get those done. The tag submission's almost done. All right, we have an order from Mr. Athim. He jumped right in. Hey, what's up, Athim? 5 Gundams for Monday night. All right, so, hey, what's up, guys? We did a horizontal stream for the daytime stream because it was a CGC return. So now that that return is basically done being shown off, we're gonna do a vertical stream for the nighttime, which we should have done already for the daytime. See, so you kind of traded places this time. It's all right. Let's see. We've been doing a little bit of vertical, a little bit of horizontal. Okay. We study the data on that a lot. I think I posted Monday's daytime data. It looked pretty bad, actually. The data looked pretty bad. Not a lot of total viewers. The peak concurrent was about 100. I think the total views were like... I think the total views were like 500. So those numbers weren't super impressive. Oh, what's this? It's like this is on, huh? Oh, weird. Software update. Your iPad has been updated. All right, let's go ahead and plug this in. Okay. I'm not going to lie. I've fallen a bit behind on posting like shorts and stuff like that. I used to post more. I've been very busy. Today, well, over the weekend, obviously, I didn't get anything done because I was in Kansas City, right? And then today I sold my boat. My boat sold. There's a gentleman buying the whole thing, the lift, the trailer, the boat. It's all being sold. He's getting it at a very good price. And that took a while, man. He did a whole bunch of tests on it and all this stuff. So yeah, I was busy today. But he has agreed to buy the boat. So in a minute, I'm going to be boatless. I'm going to have no boats. No more boats for this guy. Just Pokemon cards. Just the way it should have been in the first place. Here's Mega Sableye Tyranitar. Ooh. And where'd I put my cell phone? Oh, weird. Let me have a sip. And I'm going to go grab my cell phone because I don't see it here. I must have set it down. Oh, that's so good. I'm surprised you're letting that tag team go. Me too. I'm surprised. I need to get some cards sold. Let's see. Where is my cell phone? I need my secondary cell phone for pricing the cards. Huh. Let me see if I left it in another room. Let me turn this music down a little bit. There we go. So, there's the stream phone. Where the hell is the regular phone? Gotta have the regular phone, guys. You don't understand. It's an important thing. I set it over here. I did come over here to do some cleaning. No, I do not. See, I don't know. Let me step out. Let me go find it. It must be in the other room. Haha! Never put your phone down in an odd spot on a black shelf because it blends in with the shelf. Very hard to see. All right, so let's see. Mega Sableye. Turn this down a little bit. Let's get this bad boy priced. Okay, you ready? This is going to say Unified Minds Mega Sable Eye. Oops, I said Sable. Let's say Sable. Mega Sable Eye. Whoa. There's not much to choose from. Let me check sold. He appears to be pricey. No. Here we go. Okay. Okay, well, we're going to do a price of about a... When did this one sell? I'm going to do a price of $100. That's where we're going to leave it. It's going to be $100. Just wish I could see all the slabs. Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back. Welcome to the vertical live stream. We are 9:25. Oh. So now we have Escavalier. That's a beautiful card, man. Look at that. So we just finished pricing up this guy. They're so much prettier before they go into the sleeves. The sleeves make them so sad. Six says, are any of the breaks close? Ooh, that's a great question. Six, let me think about it for a second here. None are coming to mind that are really close. Let's see. Cloud. This one's an interesting one. So if you're looking for a fast-moving break, I'd jump into this. The 16 spot Umbreon. That's a good one. Now, Scavalier. Okay, let's see. Scooby-Dooby-Doo-Doo-Doo-Doo. This is Plasma Blast. Let's see. Plasma Blast. Escavalier. Oops, I said lure. Scavalier. Oh, I still spell it wrong. Excuse me. Long time ago, I opened up some Plasma Blast for myself, and I shouldn't have. Because it's not worth anything when you open it. It's worth so much when it's sealed. This graded 9. But the moment you open it, it's either a 10 or it's worthless. Okay, there is no Escavalier 9s. Okay, let's see. Well, what's the most expensive Escavalier? Nothing? None of these have ever been graded ever? Okay, well, let's run this trick. Since we don't know about Escavalier, let's go ahead and run... it's a reverse holo, right? So let's say 9 Plasma Blast reverse. So let's look at maybe a similar card. All right, so, and we want to sort by lowest price. Okay, here we go. So we've got, here's a Glalie. Here's a Relicanth for 35. Here's a Frostlass. Here's an Octillery for 80. That's a bit high. And it just shoots up from there from 80. So the cheapest one is this Glalie reverse. Let me see that one. That one needs to be upgraded. That's one of the price, the old label. So I believe if you add the $22 with the $7 shipping, that's about $29. And then the $10 grading, you know, the upgrade, plus, you know, they're shipping for that. It's more like $15, isn't it? It's around 40-ish. It's around 40-ish at that point. So it looks like we're going to do, I think I'll ask 45 on this. I think that's a pretty fair price. Also, what is he? He's a rare. That's cool. Escavalier's a rare. There we go. It's cool that it's blue. Are you on phone? Does the chat disappear for anyone else when going full screen? Last I saw, there was one in each. May not still be the case. We are very nice. All right. So we're going to say Escavalier, $45. There it is. Very nice. Welcome, guys, to the late night stream. Let's go ahead and open up Hathim's 5 Gundams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for tonight, to defeat the daytime stream, you guys have to hit over 41 or 42 likes, I think. You guys got to get past 42 likes to beat the daytime stream. And then that means you guys get the bonus giveaway. So there's a bonus giveaway for whichever stream gets the most likes. We are tracking views and likes. That's what we're tracking. You have a chance to beat them. All right, here goes. Ready? We've got a cold one. A normal cold one. Hey, it's Emily. Hello, Emily. How are you? Emily, what's your favorite Pokemon cards? We are. What are you collecting, Emily? Okay, here's the guy with the double gun. Bop, bop, bop. Bap, bap, bap. Okay, all right. Oh, shoulder hurts. My left shoulder hurts so bad. There we go. All right. Hathim with an H. Hathim. He's the man. There it goes. And here is this. Cool. Okay. Nice. Now we have an order from Miss Six. 2 of the 151 Chinese. Okay, 2 151 Chinese. 1 Weiss Nikke. And 1 solo leveling. I'm trying to get over depression. Yeah? What's got you feeling depressed? Not having enough Pokemons in your life? That always gets me. Okay, Weiss Nikke, huh? I always say you could always use more Pokemons. So what kind of Nikke are we talking here? This is Weiss English. Is that the only? I think that's the only one we sell, right? English. We used to have Japanese, isn't that right? So here's a box. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Six. Oh yeah. It's Kyle Summers. What's up, Kyle Summers? How's it going, man? All right. So we got these 2 lovely slabs priced up. I sent you something in DM. Ooh, let's hear about it. I guess you probably don't want me to repeat it out loud or something. You sent me a bunch of pictures of a conversation you were having. You know, if somebody's being a jerk to you, listen. If someone's being a jerk to you, what your brain wants to do is pay attention. That's what your brain wants to do. So it gets really sort of like it focuses in on it. It wants to know what happens next. What are they going to say next? But you know, the trick is actually to block that person. That's the actual trick. It works every time. So if you are being, let's say, bullied, or somebody's just saying mean things to you or whatever, and it's really making you feel bad, the trick isn't to give them more attention. The trick is to kind of block them. That really is the solution, okay? Your brain doesn't want to do that because it wants to know, what are they saying about me? But that is the solution. You have to block them. So that's why I recommend, if somebody's being mean to you, just go block them, okay? Block them. Don't think about them. And start talking to different people. Start meeting some new people. Maybe you can hang out with some people in here, say hi to them. People in here are pretty nice. But whoever's talking mean to you, you just completely block them. And then you just kind of go a different direction. That's the trick, okay? That's really just the one trick. There's not a lot of tricks for people who are being mean. Ooh, Valplume. And the bird. Caw-caw. Not butting my nose into your business, but if you don't pay attention to them, they'll eventually leave you alone. There we go. Yeah, it's a hard thing to do. I've mastered it. If somebody's bothering you, you really do just walk away. And it's just, you know, it's like a skill. It's a skill. You get better at it. Here it is. If you're pretty young, you might not understand the importance of that. The trick is to block them and then walk away. Here's Miss Six. Here we are. I hurt myself over them. No! All right. Well, probably don't do that. Trauma dumping's a real thing, too. Here's Chatot. We've got the Chatot. He's so cute. Look at this cute little bird that nobody wants. Okay. Boy, these CGC slabs sure are dusty. I wonder why they're so dusty. Beat their asses, Lurkin' Larry. We are. All right. We can give you advice, Emily, but you got to take the advice. We are. I know how it is when you're a teenager. The last thing you want to do is ignore somebody who's maybe trash talking you or talking to you meanly. You don't want to ignore them. You want to fight with them. But as you get older, you realize the real trick is to just be like, I don't care. And then just go and do something nice, like playing video games or going for a walk, hanging out with family members, friends. Mark J. Valerian, 2 packs of English, 151. It's Donnie V. What's up, Donnie? Here we are. All right, Mark, 151. You're looking for what? Blastoise, right? You're looking for Blasty Boy. He's blasting off. Okay, ready? We got Chatot, we got Escavalier, we got Mega Sableye Tyranitar. We're pricing up these CGC slabs just like it says in the title. What's up, Tabor? He says, question for Ya. I don't know if Ya's here. Is Ya here, guys? Ya might have been in the daytime stream. If you guys are wondering why we have a vertical nighttime stream, it is because the daytime got a horizontal stream. There's supposed to be one of each per day. That's what we're doing now, one of each per day. And because of the CGC return showing up in time for the daytime stream, we showed off the returns there. So now the nighttime stream's getting vertical. It's very different. It's different feel, it's a different vibe. Still me. It's, you know, it's basically the same thing. You're just missing 2 slabs. That's all it is. It's the same table. You don't have the whole table. You're missing 2 slabs. But yeah, nice 3 slabs back there. Not a lot has changed. Mark, let's grab your bag. He's only doing that because his friend he listens to and not someone he has known for months. What? If there was an item being bid and it was at 30 bucks, so I swiped and someone troll bid right before, and I swiped and increased it by 200, so sent my bid to 230. I don't know what your question is. You'll have to reword it, okay? Reword it. I'll help you out. It sounds like you're referring to snipe bidding. Snipe bidding is where everyone bids at the very end because they're hoping to get the card cheap and they don't want to reveal how much they truly think the card is worth until the very last second, because they're hoping that by taking a long time to reveal what they think the card is worth, that people will make a mistake and underbid. So you'll realize, oh, I would have gone higher than that. Okay, here's a beautiful Volcarona. Look at that, guys. Would you let me get a refund? I try to block the streamer. Oh, so you're not talking about eBay. You're talking about like Whatnot or something, right? Okay, so you were mad. You felt like someone was trolling you and bidding the item up so that you would have to bid it higher. You bid 230, and now I think you're saying you want a refund. You don't want to pay the 230. So I'm going to give you my opinion. You and I don't know each other, right? We're just strangers talking, and I'm going to give you my exact opinion. And I'm pretty sure my opinion reflects the policy for bidding. If you ask for a refund and you were top bidder, you're in the wrong. You can't do that. When you place a bid, it's a binding contract to pay for that card at that price. Now, do I think the guy should have banned you? No. The guy should have said, all right, just don't let it happen next time. That's all he should have done, and he should have accepted that the item didn't sell for 230. But when you go in there and you start bidding, that's a binding contract, okay? So bid with intention to pay. Even if somebody else is annoying you or they're like bidding it higher than you wanted them to, you have to pay that amount. If you place that bid, it's a binding contract. So I would be careful with that. I think if you're not careful, you could get kicked off of a platform very fast. You're not allowed to skip paying for an item that you bid on. I don't know if that's what you were talking about, though. So if I misunderstood, you can just explain it a little bit better. But it sounds like that's what happened. Now, again, if the streamer banned you, I don't know if I would have. I don't think I would have banned you, because if you're a serious customer and it's just like a one-time thing, I'd be like, all right, just don't do it next time. But yes, he has a right to ban anyone, really. All streamers do. We are. So you gotta be a good boy. You gotta be a good boy? Who's gonna be a good boy? It is? All right. Let's see. It happened as I was swiping. The bid was at 30 bucks. Oh, so I think what you're trying to describe is that it was an accident. You're saying you accidentally bid it higher. Is that right? If it was an accident, then yeah, I would just tell him it was an accident. And he might not believe you, but it's, you know, just how it is. Sounds like you're saying it was an accident. It was me. It went from 30 to 230 as I was swiping. I see. Okay, kind of like user error is what you're saying. It was user error. You did not mean to bid so much. It was an accident. I see what you're saying. I tried and he banned me from the stream. Well, yeah, he shouldn't have done that. It happens, you know, it happens. I'm sorry to hear you got banned. You can hang out here. We don't do auctions, though. Everything's by it now. Should we do auctions? I don't know how auctions would work. We could do something called a reverse auction, where instead of you guys bidding it up, I mark it down until someone takes it. All right. Thank you so much for that. Let's go ahead and price up another fresh slab. This time we have Porygon Z. Porygon. He's very pretty. Okay. All right. The original Porygon was very cute. It was a polygonal duck. Rubber ducks. Rubber ducks are often used with coding because when you're testing code, when you're searching for mistakes, you can talk to the duck. Okay. So for those of you guys who don't understand, the point of Porygon, sort of like a, it's like a toy that a coder might have. And yes, you can use it. You can pick the duck up and point it toward the code and everything. That's a whole thing. But now I don't know what that is. That they involved him too much. Porygon Z. Ancient. All right, let's take a quick look. He is not going to be expensive. Is this really right? Is this really 30 bucks? You know, I have to test that out again. Hold on that one. That one just doesn't seem right with 30 bucks. All right, so Porygon Z. Yeah, so the PSA 9 of the Porygon sold for over 50. How can this be only 30? It doesn't make any sense. So this is around $50. That sounds about right. I'm sorry, but the Volcarona might have been wrongly priced. Are you ever coming back to gaming for Monster Hunter Wilds? Hey, it's Tengrex. What's up, man? I played Monster Hunter Wilds, and it was fun for a little while. But to be honest, it was not impressing me enough. It's the exact same thing that happened with Monster Hunter Rise. So there is an issue where I'm not enjoying it enough to play it every single day. And obviously, I'm not going to make a video trash talking it. I'm not going to do that. That's too much, that's too far. Okay, Volcarona is actually 50? Is that right? Hold on, let me test this one more time. You'd be surprised, I'm still gaming. I'm playing Elden Ring. So I am playing Elden Ring, okay? Okay, so let's see. He's really actually $30. This is just actually a very affordable card. Volcarona, $30, everybody. Okay. That's what happened. And since I actually had a payment that went through at that much, he quickly shut me up and booted me. Ooh, that sucks. Are you ever coming back to gaming for Monster Hunter Wilds? I may come back and play more Monster Hunter Wilds, maybe like when they do a big release. But I played a couple rounds of it, and again, I just felt like the passion wasn't there for it. It felt too much like a clone of Monster Hunter Wilds with too few innovations, not enough new weapons. The bosses weren't difficult enough. Now, I heard they've since released really tough bosses. However, there was another problem with the game where they control what you can and can't build. So now you can only put attack jewels on your weapons and defense jewels on your armor, and I find that to be very boring and inappropriate. And yeah, I definitely don't like the design of Monster Hunter Wilds. Is there like a gear I can turn that makes this? There we go. All right. Okay, just wanted to know, missed watching your build videos, loved your gun builds in Monster Hunter Worlds. Yeah, I used to work really hard on that, man. Tengrex, we post over here now. We get about 500,000 views per month on TheCardconomist. We're just about to break 100,000 subscribers over here. Let's see how many cards I sold in the last 7 days. Are you ready? So we do pretty good over here. It's hard to compare what we do here to just like making video game videos, where you might make like a couple $100, maybe, if it gets enough views, if it gets like viral views, basically. But let's see. So over here, we've sold $25,500 of cards in a very, very short period of time. And you just cannot compare that to, playing games and getting paid a few hundred. So I'd say that I'm really into the cards. The cards are a better income. They provide an interesting challenge anyways. Collecting is a challenge of its own. You know, in Monster Hunter, you collected weapons. You collected monster parts. With Pokemon cards, you collect cards. So it's still kind of interesting. You're still trying to obtain things, you know. It's an interesting thing. But yeah, I wish that Monster Hunter had been a bit more of a fun game. It was really nice when it first launched, and then the replayability was really quite poor. And so I fell off right away. I was like, nah. I'm playing a ton of Elden Ring, though. Elden Ring Night Rain. I would make videos on that if I had more time. Elden Ring Night Rain. Great game. All right. We're probably going to play Monster Hunter. I'm sorry. We're probably going to play through Pokemon AZ Legends. What do you guys think? Maybe not. I don't know if it's necessary. Ooh, you got the girl. I wish that there were Monster Hunter cards. Actually, I do have some Monster Hunter cards. We are. All right. I sold my boat today, by the way, guys. Are you proud of me? Oh. Konnichiwa. Here we are. All right. I sold my boat today. There we go. So, nice. Ever play Final Fantasy X or any Final Fantasy game? I played one full Final Fantasy game, and it was highly addictive. It was Final Fantasy, it was called like 12 and a half or 10 and a half or 11 and a half or something like that. It was one where the main character was Sarah, and I didn't really understand anything that was going on in the game at all. Like, I had no clue. From beginning to end, I had no clue. But it was like a turn-based real-time strategy game. It was really strange. Like, you had to choose your attacks, but also you were allowed to move your character around, and you were allowed to sort of like react and stuff like that. It was really fun. Definitely, it was more fun than a modern Pokemon game is even today. I didn't know this about Final Fantasy, but you get to capture things that monsters that you fight. You get to capture one to put onto your team, and so you can capture really ridiculous monsters in Final Fantasy and put them on your team. And so I was having a great old time. I can remember that time period very clearly because I was like grinding, I was leveling up, I was getting just the right monster. And at the same time, my now ex-girlfriend, we were watching scary movies at the same time I was playing. It was really funny. So I remember what movies I was watching. All right. I'm more of a Magic the Gathering player than I am of Pokemon. We have that too, believe it or not. I believe it's on the extended menu. No. You guys scroll down. We sell all kinds of Magic the Gathering. We're going to get the Spider-Man set in. We got Spider-Man. We got Final Fantasy. Yes, Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy was a big deal, wasn't it? All right, let's try another card. I've sent out a few Magic the Gathering cards in my latest submissions, so those will be coming back. Loved it. You should play 12. It's just like that, but way better. Storyline and hunting is better. The one with Sarah and Lightning aren't the best ones. Well, you know what? The Sarah episode was very fun, and despite that, I just didn't get back into it. My biggest problem, I struggle to play games that lack multiplayer functionality, and so if a game doesn't have multiplayer in some way or another, I really have trouble playing it. I do. Okay, season 9. Blaine's Ninetales. That's Jim Ninetales. Japanese. All right. This card shall be $24. Screw that app, man. That was shiesty as hell. No, he didn't allow a refund and banned me from the stream, then rejected my request. So he kept your money? I mean, he can't do that. I would report that to Whatnot or whatever. If he took your money, he's got to, he's got to either he's got two options: refund the card or ship the card, one or the other. But he can't do neither. Morgan David John says the $100 slab away payment and a waifu shuffle. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, Mr. Morgan. All right. This goes down to 6 honeys. Thank you so much. And then 1 waifu shuffle. We love our shuffles. Bust out another 1,000. Yeah, boats are clearly not super cheap, but I think that that's a bit of an exaggeration. Like, you can own a cheap small boat and have a lot of fun with it. The problem for me is I just don't go outside and boat. I'm not a boat person. I'm a Pokemon card guy. I sit on my couch and play video games. It's not for me. You go out there and there's water and there's fish and you're like, oh, look, the water and the fish. I like swimming. Swimming in the water's fun. The boating's not as fun. All right, one waifu shuffle is done. It was a cold waifu shuffle. Let's take another look at a CGC card. We're pricing up the CGC cards. It's a first come, first serve. You want a chance to own some cool cards here? This is your chance. CGC 9. Carddass Zapdos. Carddass Zapdos. You ready? I would have never dreamed of playing $250 after taxes and shipping. Paying $250 after taxes and shipping. So this is a $100 card. Okay. Legacy of Kain. It's one of the few things that happens on the app that no one talks about. Okay, set this here. 100. 9.25. Aha. Beautiful. It is Monday night, and the queue is empty. Let's go ahead and grab the next card. We've got Persian. Look at that Persian. All right. Oops. Ooh. How nice. Dusting this off. Lovely. The only thing we do here is snipe. 30 sounds good. That's why I swipe. Next thing you know, it was 233, but that's all thanks for letting me share. Sorry to hear you had a bad time on, I guess it was like Whatnot or something. You should complain. You should take this up with headquarters. Okay, Persian. This is Cosmic Hollow Persian. Oops. Ooh. Beautiful card. I like the pattern on it, but it's not going to be very expensive as an 8.5. I guess I will just put my own price on it. How about 30 bucks? He's a vintage card. We are. Now that I've got a CGC slab, I really like them. They're not bad. I mean, I don't know why anyone hates them too much. They're not bad. They're just like any company. Like, there's Tag, there's PSA Wooper, and Mewtwo. Look at that Mewtwo, man. That card's cool as hell. It's a cool-ass card. I've been watching Deadliest Catch. Oh, yeah? That's cool. Deadliest Catch. They go fishing, right? God, I love seafood. They're doing the Lord's work out there. It's necessary. Guys like me respect the Deadliest Catch. It's a very important job. All right. Yeah, doesn't, so fishermen have one of the most hazardous possible jobs. There it goes. All right. What's good? Great show. Hey, we have Miss Sarah Dusenberry. Hello, Sarah. How are you today? Okay, we'll click on this. Sarah says, 1 box of shiny treasures. Just the hits. Okay, do we have shiny treasures nearby? I don't see it. So, let me go get shiny treasures. Wow, Shiny Treasures is really selling through. Okay. Put this up here. Got off work, so it's going well. Mr. GameStop doesn't accept CGC slabs. Shake my head. That doesn't sound smart at all. There we go. They must have, you know why? I bet they have an exclusive deal with PSA. That's what's going on. I bet you PSA said don't accept CGC. And GameStop said we will for money. We are? All right. Because there's a lot of cards graded with the CGC at this point. They grade more cards than BGS. They're actually PSA's closest rival, CGC is, in terms of volume. Remember, CGC is NGC, the coin grading company. Also the comic book grading company. Yeah, that's got to be some sort of partnership. that GameStop got with the PSA. All right, thank you, Sarah, for this big order tonight. How's it going, guys? I hope you guys are having a great night. Take a minute and smash that like button. We're at 27 likes. There are. All right. Take care, everyone. I'm glad to have met you again. Glad to see you're doing well in the card industry. Maybe I'll hop in stream when I have time. My work break is over now. Back to work. It's the same. I'm the same old guy, Mr. Tengrex. Come hang out anytime you want. You can talk anything at all. We talk about all kinds of things. Those pocket monsters are sweet. I remember having a few as a kid. Just saw a video earlier that dude bought the whole 153 set. Oh, the Carddass set. Yeah, that's a set that I bought a lot of early because I thought it was really interesting. And it's done very good, done very well for me over time. It doesn't get the same attention. Oh, look at that. Sarah doing good. She's picking up Pikachu. All right. Oh, you said you did not want the bulk, just the hits. Do EXs count as hits? I'll sleeve them up for you. We'll remove the hollows. All right. Sarah. Oh, my. Okay, Fudgesicles, I'm tired. Almost hit 12 hours of work today. Yeah, I got to run errands tomorrow. Hopefully I don't miss the daytime stream tomorrow, but I might miss the daytime stream. There's actually a very good chance that there is no daytime stream. So I apologize. Ooh, Quackaval. Quackaval? There is a good chance I do not have a daytime stream tomorrow. We are? Okay. I hate doing stuff other than work. Carddass was the first ever Pokemon cards that weren't licensed but sold in Japan. Yeah, you're talking about that shiny set with the Game Boys on the back, right? Yeah, we are. It's a cool set. Ooh, Kilowattrel. Do what you got to do. It is setting this over here. Throwing this away. Here's Mew. Here's Barrioth. I like this Slowbro. You want the Slowbro, Sarah? Here you go. Here's a nice card. Here's Kadabra. Charizard. Okay, there's Charizard. Here's the Kadabra. All right, very nice. And Myrmidon. It's Myrmidon. Okay. Good. Tossing that away. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. All right, take a look at that. Oh. Nice. So that was one box of Shiny Treasures. It's a good set. I like the Pikachu pull, by the way. I think he's good. Okay. Miss Sarah with an S. Now, this is a set we won't be restocking, and we are running out of it. We're selling through. Ooh, you got a full, so your bag's really full. So what that tells me is you may have an overflow bag. Here's 6. Here's Jeff. Here's a Brandon Warder. Maybe you would have an overflow bag in the actual SA box. Let's go see. Trevor Carpenter. He's a big buyer. Here it is, Sarah Dusenberry. All right. Very nice. Good. Now we've got Mr. Mark J. Valerian. One more English 151. Okay, one more English 151. All right. It's hard being financially responsible. Yeah, that's true. Oh, man, what is up with my arm tonight? Okay, we've got Coughing, Tentacruel, and Blastoise. Ooh, how nice. My strategy is now shifted to getting all the Mews and Mewtwo's graded. What? You want all the Mews and Mewtwo's? We can't allow that. So easy for you, Mewtwo supremacy. Supremacists. I don't know what I'm saying. Here we go. Any interesting news? I feel like there hasn't been any interesting news in a while. Any new products coming out? Who knows about an interesting new product coming out? Okay, get this dusted. So we have a nice checklist 9 Lugia. Now this was graded 9 with PSA, and it crossed into a CGC 9. If I knew it wasn't going to upgrade, I wouldn't have crossed it. But, you know, you got to try. Some of the stuff we crossed did upgrade. All right. There we go. Ba-doopy-doopy-doo. Do. I know nothing about product coming out, but I'm getting married and I'm happy even with a lot of BS going on. You got a lot of BS going on. Now, if it was up to me, I wouldn't tolerate any BS. I'd be like, hey, checklist tops, Lugia maybe? Lugia? There he is. So those are both non-holo. We have an actual holo version. Well, look, on August 2nd, the capture of Lugia sold marked down for 150. So that's interesting. Not a lot of information on this card. I know if this was graded 10, I would probably be asking like 500 for it, because it's a holographic Lugia card. Oh, here we go. Okay, so there is a PSA version for 195. All right. Well, we'll make ours a little cheaper, seeing as it has been turned into a CGC 9. But remember, this was originally a PSA 9. It was. We have the original pictures of it. So I believe you could cross this into a PSA 9 if you wanted. There we go. The football season is about to begin. Any of you buy football cards right now, they will sell on their own. It's the same as Pokemon. Sleeve a hit when you see it. Yeah? Saw that one guy that showed off that Mega Latias English box. I'm sure Nintendo won't come after them. Fiance got scammed out of her dress. Got to find a new parlor. Oh, God, dude. Sometimes businesses have practices that are so scammy. Like, oh, you have to put a deposit down on this thing that you're going to buy from us to make sure you can only buy it from us. Then you change your mind and they're like, well, you know, there's a restocking fee as well now. So you've lost your deposit and your restocking fee. And at some point, it's like $500 of fees. It's like crazy. It's not like 10 or 20 bucks. It's like $500 of fees. You're like, what? You didn't even do any work. How can you charge all this? Well, you tried to back out. They do all kinds of stuff like that. And the wedding industry is notorious for taking advantage of young people who are, you know, they've got clear eyes and hopeful, wistful dreams of the future. And we're going to be in love. So, yeah, 1K, they don't want to answer a text or back. Yeah, exactly. You know, they're trying to make you lose 1,000. Listen, if you guys ordered a service or a product and you didn't get the product or the service, you can contact your bank that you paid through and say, listen, we'd like to file a chargeback on this because, you know, I paid for this dress and I didn't get the dress. Simple. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's see. I don't normally recommend chargebacks. You have to be fair about it. That's the thing. You have to be fair about it, right? Like, if it's more like you wasted our time fee, that's a different story. But $1,000, they're just trying to bend you over. That's all. Sounds like it anyways. ZELLE, contact ZELLE. ZELLE is owned by the bank. The bank uses ZELLE. You're not, it's not impossible, Mar. All right, so I need to go get more Korean EV Heroes. I'll be back. That little cat's awake. He's so excitable. All right. Whew. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to our late night Monday night stream. Let's go ahead and get it. If you're wanting to order some cards tonight live, click on the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. That's how you access the description. And the description is where we keep everything, okay? All right. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3. Who's new here? Any new guys? There's 6 and 7. 6 and 7. Good. Breaking the wallet like usual. Poor wallet. Ooh. Okay, fix this a little bit. My girlfriend won't put out. She doesn't understand that she's playing with fire. I'll invite someone over who will put out and watch her change her tone or GTFO. Ooh, I understand the frustration, Mr. Pal Glock. When you're in a relationship, relationships are fundamentally sexual in nature, right? Like, you're not together by accident. It's not an accident that you're a man and she's a woman. You're there for the attraction. You're there for the spark of sexuality. You know, that's the point of it. And if she's got a problem with sexuality and you don't, and so there's a mismatch with the man for it, it's trouble, man. But you know, maybe get some advice from ChatGPT or AI first, okay? Here we are. It could be the case that she needs to open up her mind toward being more positive about sexuality. It could be the case that you need to do a better job warming her up. I'm not trying to beat you up or anything, but it can be tricky. Men, sometimes we have outdated ways of thinking what charges a girl up. Okay, you just talk sweet to her and smooch on her or something, right? But humans are complicated creatures. You'd be surprised what get humans in the mood. We are. She might have, maybe she's got like a different way of thinking about sexuality, and so it's harder for her to get into it. But yeah, I wouldn't just beat her up and drop it. What you're talking about is an ultimatum, you know? That's an ultimatum. And it does kind of reach that point. I've seen this before. I had a friend named Patrick who had this problem with the girl, and she was really nice. Actually, I thought she was kind of attractive, and they broke up because she wouldn't have sex with them. And I remember that. But yeah, you know, it's more difficult for some people. Don't turn it into a, don't beat her up over it. Just understand it's all part of the game, and you can try to twist and turn the knobs and the dials and all that, the knobs and the dials, to try and get it just right. But yeah, it's a tricky thing, I guess. Maybe you could go into more details. Tell us what's going wrong. Gent Nerd says, not new, but haven't been around for a couple years. Hey, what's up, man? 6 says, don't be with her then. It's her choice if she wants to put out or not. My boy dropping gems. Listen up. I don't know about gems, but we're just talking. We're just talking, you know. Dominic Gonzalez, Mr. Dominic. All right. Let's see. Dominic with the D-O. I think that sex in a relationship is very important, you know. You're not dating, like a, like a 60-year-old fat guy balding with glasses. You're dating a girl because she's pretty and you want to have sex. It's basically, that is the driver behind all attraction. That's why it's got a word called attraction. That's what's going on. It's not an accident. It's not like this banal, is it banal? Is that the right word? Abstract, oh, we are just two atoms in the universe that bumped into each other and now we're in a relation. No, it's not like that. So it is based on sex. That is how people run into each other and say, hey, we should start a party in our pants or something and stay together because of it and have children and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I mean, if she's having trouble, think of it like a complicated puzzle to solve. And as a guy, you can get really frustrated because you start to feel like, well, I have better odds just getting out of the relationship. And there is probably a point where that's true. But I would try really sincerely and give it your best shot and treat her the way you would want a guy to treat your daughter, okay? So be respectful. Don't be horrible about it. All right. Because you're experiencing frustration, and that can put you in a bad mood. And bad moods can lead to some really unfortunate behavior. So don't do anything you wouldn't want to have recorded and sent to your own parents and grandparents, okay? Pretend someone's got a flashlight on you and they're recording you. Everything you say and do. Try to stick to that. We are. Yeah, just remember, it's all natural to feel frustrated and all that, but don't do something you'll regret later, you know? Think it over. Pause a little bit. But you really should do some, maybe some reading and some ideas on how to rev up that sexy engine, man. Past sometimes may have an effect. Let's see. What up, mister? Hey, what's up, Kickback Videos? Michael Butler says hi. What's up, Michael Butler? What's up, man? You got to wear the big D jeans. Benign? No. Banal. Is it pronounced banal? Let me see. Is it banal? It's not banal. It's banal. It's banal or something. Hold on. How to pronounce the word banal. You ready? It's a word I don't use enough.
In English, meaning so lacking in originality. Pronounce this word. We are looking at how to pronounce this word. Banal.
Banal. Yeah, banal.
In English.
What is the meaning of the word banal? I don't feel like I learn new words anymore. Banal word meaning. These are all just words I knew as a kid. Let's see. Lacking in originality. Asked to be obvious and boring. Lacking originality, freshness, or novelty. I think I was using the word right, wasn't I? Maybe I was using it wrong. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Let's play that music again. Cheating won't solve anything. That's stupid. I'm gonna cheat on you because you don't sleep with me. That's disgusting. That forces her to sleep with me. You. Benign. No, benign is benign's not the right word though. Mister, I'm really debating on opening my Evolving Skies ETB for fun. Should I? What if Umbreon's in there? Yeah, Umbreon could be in there, or not. You just don't know until you open it. So you're asking yourself if you should gamble or not. And if you want to do some gambling, do some gambling. If you want to do it, then you're accepting the terms of the gamble, which is that you may get $10 out of your box, $10 of bad cards. Or maybe you pull everything you ever wanted. You never know. All right, let's see. Because somebody eventually does pull that Umbreon. It just typically isn't the person who deserves it. Somebody who bought like one pack pulls them, you know, instead of the guy who's opened like 16 boxes. So Primal Groudon, 97. You ready? This is a special card. So, well, that's the PSA 10. What about CGC 10? There is a CGC 10 for 4,500, which seems kind of expensive. Let's see. I see his point of view, by the way. I understand where he's coming from. I think that if you have a sexless relationship, you are on your way to a breakup. And that is the nature of it. If you have a sexless relationship, you are going to have a breakup. It's having a sexual relationship with your partner is very important. It's an expression of desiring each other, you know, reverting back into animals. It's like doing a pleasurable thing together as a couple, you know, like, hey, we're smoking some cigarettes, we're smoking some sex together. It's pretty important, I'd say. It's probably the most important function of the relationship. Everything else just sort of piggybacks off of the importance of the sexual dynamic. And so it's not something you get to skip. You don't get to say, oh, the sex doesn't matter. We're just together because we like sleeping in the same bedroom. You know, it doesn't really work that way. So the cheapest PSA 10 of the same card is $4,000. So we definitely cannot sell this for $4,500. Let me jump back to CGC 10. I hate having to check both prices. It's so much work. So much easier when you're selling PSA 10s, and then you just don't have to check any other type of price. All right. So, all right. So again, I'm going to mention that the price of the PSA 10 is $4,000. And then I'm going to do half of that price, I guess. So we're going to do half of 4,000, which is 2,000. A lustful relationship only lasts because of sex. There's no love, all lust. I'm not saying just lust, but I'm saying, like, you know, you got to get your oogity boogity on. It's important. It's important for the woman too. You know, girls they don't think they do, but they get girl blue balls. That's a real thing. They don't think they get it, but they do. Feeling cranky? It's because you got girl blue balls. You don't realize it, but you've got it. Here it is. All right. Ooh. No one talks about that, by the way. No one talks about girl blue balls. It's a real thing. They definitely get it. Girl's super cranky. She doesn't know why. She hates everybody. And then, you know, around a hanky-panky, and she's like, la-da-da-da. She's walking on air. There's clouds in the room. She's like, oh. You know, it's like, what happened? You got girl blue balls. You don't think you do. And ironically, when you have girl blue balls, it makes you less likely to want to get in the sack. You don't want it. You're like, I don't want to talk to anybody. Don't even look at me. Don't even look at me. I'm mad at everything. That's because you waited too long. Here's Dominic Gonzalez, 7 more EV Heroes. All right, let's see. All right. I would never blue ball other moms. Can you explain this to me, teacher? Nose ring theory. Dude, I think girls with nose rings are very hot, very sexy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They look like they're going to be trouble, which is nice. Because if you've ever been with someone who's too boring, that's worse. That is actually worse. You don't think it is, but it is. Boring is very difficult. Trouble, you know, even fighting has passion in it. There's, you know, you smack each other and then you're like, you start making out. But, you know, but if you're just sitting there watching paint dry and you're like, what do you want to do? Let's turn on Grey's Anatomy again. What do you want to watch? Oh, let's watch Breaking Bad again. Let's watch The Office for the 12th time. That's worse. That is definitely worse. Nah, mister, it's just PMS. Wah, ha, ha. Wow. Well, yeah, I mean, it helps to, it does help if you're a guy, because I'm sure some of the guys in here are already aware of this, but if you're a guy and you don't know this, girls go through a week of very different hormones as their bodies go through, like, menstruation. Ooh, look at this. Nice. So guys, we don't have that. We just feel the same all the time. But girls have, like, a week where they feel really good, and then a week where they're like a cat in heat. They're like, bro. And then they have a week where they're like, I'll kill you. You know, they got a knife out, and, you know, you look at them wrong, and they're like, why do you hate me? And then they have a week where, you know, there's their Aunt Flo visits, right? So there's like 4 weeks, and it's like the seasons: summer, fall, winter, and spring. And, you know, so if you can anticipate the fall and the winter a little bit, it helps. And then you don't judge them because you go, well, you know, it's a harder week than normal for her, and that's just how it is. So you're lucky you don't have to deal with that. She has to deal with that. So here we go. All right. Birth control makes them crazy, says Thrills for Frills. I don't know if that's true. I don't think I've ever experienced that. I've heard, if anything, I've heard birth control can make a girl be nicer to a guy she would have otherwise dumped already and moved on for a hot Chad. You know, I've heard that. But I haven't heard about birth control making girls crazy. I've not heard that. Maybe somebody claims that. I don't know. Oops. Look at this. This is cool, huh? All right. You have to buy them Oreos. If you walk by and don't smack your girl in the butt, she will question the whole relationship. He doesn't love me. He thinks other girls are pretty. Yeah, actually, he's right. If you don't pretend to be like horny or like make a move or anything for a while, if you hold it in, she'll be like, he doesn't love me. This is it. This is the end of the relationship. It's all over. Getting nervous. Ooh, look at this. Sylveon. This is nice, guys. That is a Pokeball Sylveon Tag 10. I need some Waifu Graded slabs to show up. Yeah? All right, here's another slab. We've got Charmander. I need some Waifu Graded cards. Oh, man, that Groudon, though, you have to buy them Oreos and they will be happy. So, yeah, I kind of agree. Sometimes food helps, food and sex are not that different from each other. They're both like a dopamine trigger, you know what I mean? So, and so it's, junk food can kind of be a shortcut. It can be a fast track to the dark side of the force, to powers that some would say are unnatural. God, there's too much dust on these CGC slabs. What's up with these CGC slabs having like piles of dust on them? Are the tag slabs worth more than PSA? Yeah, they tend to sell for more. Yes, sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. All right. Ooh, Charmander. I've sold a lot of tag slabs for just a little more than a PSA slab. Charmander. Shut up, bitch. Charmander first. All right. He's going to cost... That is an interesting conversation, though. The struggle to have a healthy sex life. Sex is it's like so important, man. It makes you feel bonded. It makes you feel close to each other. It makes the relationship feel like it has a point, like a purpose to it, other than, oh, we like to eat the same popcorn and share a mortgage, you know, because that's a roommate. You don't want to just be stuck with the roommate. You'll feel resentful. There it is. There's got to be some passion. There's got to be some spice. Some spice. Here's Winston Lee. $20 to my slab away. 5 Gundams. Yes, sir, Mr. Winston. Here we are. In my opinion, I think there's a lot of girls that just don't know how to enjoy it, to be honest. There you go. I think that people are very insecure. I think people suffer from a variety of problems, but in general, it's going to be a couple. Depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, and closed-mindedness is a real thing, too. You can be too religious, too closed-minded. Not everyone has that problem, but some people do. Here we are. All right. You got to accept that sexuality is kind of freaky-deaky, you know? It's a little freaky. You're going to be animals for a little while. You're not going to be angels anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's not the realm of acting like an angel. Yeah, let some grunting out. All right, you ready? The Spice Melange. I have a graded 10 Japanese Terra Umbreon. Alex, leave your cat alone. This is me being in a 2-year relationship. Here we are. Alcohol helps. Yeah, you don't want to, alcohol, they're saying alcohol is real bad for you. So you don't want to overdo it. But alcohol can definitely help loosen things up for sure. Especially, I think, for girls. I don't think for guys it's necessarily good. I've heard for guys it can actually make it harder to have sex, but I don't know how true that is. I just don't drink. It's easy for me to say because I don't drink because I don't find it good feeling to be drunk. Ooh, look at this. You got the C+. All right. Okay. All right. Very nice. Some girls are a lot more timid, or they have a struggle with the loss of innocence of sexuality, right? Some girls just want a really nice friend. They want you to be like a puppy dog or something. Bark, bark, bark. There you go. Sex, that's alien and scary. Get that tentacle away from me. Ah! Just part of life, you know. There we go. All right. You better give me sex. I'm just going to bring a slut home. That's not going to win. That's not a winning argument. That's going to not do so well. She's going to get defensive. She's going to be like, well, it's either I have sex with you or you don't love me, you know, so that won't work. Here we are. It's tricky. Negotiating your relationship. It's like a whole skill, isn't it? No alcohol, just the Viagra. There we go. I have Albita Booby mouse pad. Ooh. That's got a 9.5, huh? Wow, that sucks, dude. It's so close to a 9. It's worth so much as a 10. But it's a 9.5. All right, well, whatevs. Where's my phone? Have you seen the Whistling Diesel's Russian girlfriend? I have no idea what you just said. Let's say PSA 9 Mew Black Star Primo 053. So we're going to price this at the value of a PSA 9 since it is a CGC 9.5. I think that's pretty fair. Looks like the PSA 9 sells for about $100. A little more than 100 actually. We'll set it to 100. Can I slab away this Mew? Yep. You send in $5 to slab away this Mew. It is costing 100. How much is a 10 for the Mew? If you haven't done it yet, take a second to smack that like button. There's a good reason to smack the like button. You want to beat the daytime stream, don't you? They only got to like 40 likes. They didn't smack it too much. So you guys should smack that ass. I mean that like button. And you'll beat them easily. All right. So, Winston Lee, we opened up your cards, and then we priced up this Mew. Now we move on to the next order. What we got? Let's see. Never get married, guys. You cheat on her once, and she gets horribly angry at you. Ha! Never get married. Let's see. I only like vertical streams. Oh, yeah? Horizontal sucks. Go, ooh. So that got a 10? I don't know. I did not expect that. I'm going to have to start sending CGC all of my vintage cards because I like that. They're much nicer to that than I thought they would be. I mean, that seems like an obvious 9, doesn't it? I don't know. They must have a different rubric. Why is it horizontal this time? You mean vertical? It is vertical because the daytime stream was horizontal. So as a result, the nighttime stream is a vertical stream. I took a screenshot of the data from the daytime stream and posted it in Discord under announcements. When this stream ends, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to post the same data and see which stream gets the better data too. So we're going to see total views. We're going to see how many people chatted. It's going to be an important metric that we are keeping track of. Light Pillow Swine. Now, don't you all jump at Light Pillow Swine at once, okay? I know he's good. Looks like he is probably about $70. This is a rare card, by the way. That is the CGC 10 price, by the way. That's not the PSA 10 price, CGC 10 price. What's going on in that card? Kind of looks like an orgy. No, this is Pillow Swine, and it looks like a couple babies. Get your mind out of the gutter, bro. All my boyfriend wants is one thing, and it's disgusting. Ooh. So what else do we got? We got some orders. Order! Lucas Launch, slab away the Mew. Okay, this card property of Lucas Launch. Lucas Launch Industries. I got an engagement ring when I was with my girlfriend of 3 years until I found out she cheated for 1 month. It's a good thing I was able to return the ring. Oh, man, I have a story just like that. Happened to my roommate. He was a good friend of mine, and he was so in love with this girl. She came down from Canada. They were online dating. She came down from Canada, spent a little while with him, and then broke it up with him right then and there. Broke it while she was over here. Then she went back to Canada, and she got married. And I'm not kidding. Like a month later, she was married to a totally different guy. Damn, dude. Crazy. But he was all devastated. I was working at Sears, and I was working in the back room, and he texted me that he was at the mall to return the ring. He bought it from the mall, I guess. And so he showed me the ring, and he was so bummed, dude. So I was like, I'm sorry, bro. It was not great. I felt very bad. All right, September 25. Lucas Launch. I was like, I'm glad it's not me. Pillow Swine. So this Pillow Swine, I mean Mew. Hold on. CGC 9.5 Mew. This Mew shall be $100. And how much did you send? I don't remember. You sent just the 5, so you owe $100 on it. Okay. There we have it. Thank you so much. My ex-wife got pregnant with her ex 6 months into our marriage. Oof. Man, these girls be wildin', man. She's for the streets. I'm sorry. I guess I've been lucky in life that I have not had such dramatic things happening. I mean, the sense of betrayal and the loss of control, and I get it, man. That sucks, dude. That sucks. All right. I must have gotten lucky with Karis because she hasn't done that to me. Not yet, anyways. There's still time. So, let's see. Next up, we have Miss Sarah. 1 box of Shiny Treasures and 3 Raw Shuffles. You got it, Miss Sarah Dusenberry. Oh. Who wants to be my rebound if I ever get into a breakup? You are? All right. If you have a good woman by your side, consider being blessed and stay strong / respectful. All right, throw this away. Okay. Whew. So 3 Raw Shuffles. Oh, arm hurts. Ready? Dropping this over here. Pokemaster Easy says I do. Wow, thanks, bro. 1, 2, 3. We got 1, 2, 3. There's your Raw Shuffles. Let's see what comes out of them. We've got a round of hollows. That's a cold pack, okay? Ah, what do we have here? We have Gengar Reverse. Oh, that's good. That's actually really good. Flying Pikachu is good. Reshiram and Pikachu? Wow, great round there. Look at that, everybody. Are you jealous? That's a hot round. So that is the way that these work. Okay, and this will be a cold pack. So they're a lot like the Poke Shuffles, except instead of slabs, you have raw cards. I was going to say me, but I remember you're not gay no more. That's right. I'm not gay. Not anymore. Tossing this over here. All right. Ooh. Ho-ho. Miss Sarah. Let's grab your bag. Did you see that YouTuber nearly kill a guy wrestling? You guys keep bringing that one up. I did not watch that, but I didn't understand his motive for beating the guy up so bad. There you go. Very nice. Okay. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Okay, 1 box of Shiny Treasures coming up next. Should have brought an extra box of it in here. I didn't think you were going to buy another one for some reason. I don't know why I thought that. How much are these Shiny Treasure boxes? Oh, I do have another box in here. Shiny Treasures. I haven't, you know, to be honest, because I haven't been thinking about restocking them, I've not checked Shiny Treasures in a long time. It looks like we're fine. All right, let's get it. Oh, you Miss Sarah. She's gonna pull the Bubble Mew out of here. Ow. I used to be stuck in a woman's body. Then I was born. That's good. He messed him up. Is it possible when I downpaid my slab to crack the slab and send a tag? Yeah, you can do that. I don't mind. We can crack it and send it to tag rating. If it turns into a 10, that'd be interesting. I mean, he did get a 9.5. All right. His dad called his a puss, and so was his stream. Then he flipped out. What? His dad called him a pussy, and so did his stream, and then he flipped out? Yo, so the other guy's a victim of like a fit of rage. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. You can't be behaving that way. No, no, no. Crazy, dude. All right, Miss Sarah, take a look at this. Ooh, beautiful. Let's go ahead and start snipping. Ready? Snip number 1. Snip number 2. Okay. Step number 3. They shook hands, then his chat worked him up before the match. He went in and teed off. Wow. Okay. So is he going to jail? I mean, you can't nearly beat a guy to death in the ring on purpose. Here it goes. So I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put this here. Okay, we got some more hollows. You got the Charcodette. Charcodette. Look at that. Very nice. Here's the snail. Okay. Here's Pidgeotto. What's Pidgey got? Under investigation, which should be quick with all his live streams. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I mean, that goes beyond bad sportsmanship. That's, what would you call that? Battery? Assault? If it's a sport, there's some sort of, like, you know, rules to the sport that says you don't beat the holy living daylights out of your opponent. Is. Oh, Wigglytuff box. Another Slowbro. Unhinged. Here's your Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff. And here's your Slowbro. All right, good, good, good. Attempted murder. I don't know about attempted. I mean, obviously he didn't murder him, but attempted beating him up really bad. And it's like that episode of, it's not that episode, it's like that Fight Club movie where he beat that bad guy. Or not the bad guy, where he beat the one guy. What's with the camera angle? No more horizontal? Hey, what's up, Mythic Vic? Tonight we're doing a vertical because the daytime was a horizontal. So we're kind of trading off. For Tuesday, Tuesday should be a nighttime horizontal stream. All right. His dad said he saved up bail money. What? Why? Because he anticipated what was going to happen, or because they just had enough money for bail and he was talking about that? I don't know what you mean. You are? All right. Here we go. Here we are. Here we are. All right. So you got these beautiful cards. Oh. At least there was no Curse of the Shiny Fortress box. Oh, yeah. That's a good idea, says Mythic Vic. Thanks, man. Yeah, we're trying out vertical a little bit. We're seeing if we meet some new people. It was working pretty well earlier, and we're just giving it another try. That's all. His Japanese kids got college money. His American kid got bail money. What? His dad is Japanese or something? I don't understand. All right. Miss Sarah. Oh, Sarah. Wow, Sarah's very nice. Let's go ahead and toss these in here. You did pretty good on those raw shuffles, huh? He hit him 20 times after he was knocked out. Attempted murder is possible. Nah, that's crazy. The guy was knocked out and he kept punching him 20 times. Where was the referee? Why didn't the referee save him? They're supposed to have like a referee who drags you off of him and disqualifies you. That's no good. You know what? They're going to get sued, man. So the guy who attacked him's obviously going to get sued, but the referee system's going to get sued too, because there's supposed to be a safety net if you're going to be knocked out. If you're going to have unconscious people laying on your mat, you better have a third party ready to pull off a stupid as hell, fighter who just wants to kill you or something. Ref did nothing? Nah, that's no good. That's no good. That's definitely some kind of lawsuit, right? They should be, if you're going to host something that's dangerous like that, there has to be a safety net in place so that if your son gets knocked unconscious, he's not then murdered by his opponent who's just, in a fit of rage. We are. His dad is Rampage Jackson, an MMA champion. Rajo's training for MMA. The ref was an actor for the wrestling show and did not understand or is not all there. Weird. That does not sound good, man. Look at this glalie. So we actually have this beautiful glalie. Wow, that looks really nice, guys. Isn't that beautiful? That's so cool. Took 5 other wrestlers to pull him off the ref, and then he ran and hid. Wow, that's crazy. So what should be the result of that? I mean, there should be... I mean, obviously, one result should be that he should not be allowed to compete in the future because you cannot reward that behavior at all. That sort of behavior cannot result in you being allowed to play anymore. He has to be banned. It is, you know, he was training for MMA or whatever. He's got to be kicked out. You just can't have that. It's like a line you never cross, because if you do, you can't be trusted anymore. And they gotta be strict with that, something like that. So I imagine he's definitely gonna get banned and sued at the very least. So Glalie, what a nice little Glalie. Likely he's a killer. Okay, beautiful. Why, thank you, Sarah. Sarah's so nice. All right, guys, we have an empty queue. It's empty queue time. Now we can do the empty queue dance. STU is in critical. He was in a coma? Man, that is not right. He was in a coma. I don't know, dude. That's not right. Oh, by the way, I wanted to mention our One Piece OP13 is on the way, everybody. One Piece OP13 is on the way. I got the notification for it today. So we should get that in the mail maybe in about 3 days, hopefully, if we're lucky. Maybe about 3 days. Look at that Dark Golduck. Okay, Dark Golduck. I wonder why the Wick Slab is expensive. Is it because of the big watermelons? Probably. I put an arrow on it in case you missed them. But this card has always been a desirable card to own, and it really doesn't grade 10 very often, so that plays a big role. Dark Golduck regraded into a CGC 10, and I'm not surprised by this. It was such a nice, clean card. So when tag grading gave this a 9, I was like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's strictly a 9. But Toic faces bones and choked on his own teeth. It's a bad situation. Broke face bones and choked on his own teeth. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Hey, what's up, Mashu? How's it going, man? All right, that's not right. That's crazy, dude. Dude, what's up with the numbers for this stream? It oscillates between like 60 viewers and 85 viewers. Did you guys notice that? It swings really hard. I don't know. Is that really people coming and going? So strange. All right, now let's see. We've got CGC 10, Dark Golduck first. All right, Dark Golduck first. And we're going to click on all these. So, Dark Golduck first edition is $85. Let me check sold, though. 85 seems high. No, it's not high. Look at that. Sold for $100 there. That's the CGC 10 first edition Golduck. Selling for $100. What is going on there? Oh, that's an 8. Oh, that was a PSA 8. And so, okay. It looks like this is going to be priced at $90. People scrolling. I see 300 viewers. I wonder if that high-speed flying object in space called 3I Atlas is a UFO. I think it is. So I said we would be pricing up our CGC return. That is what we have been focusing on tonight. Lots of new cards hitting the table that you've never seen the price on them before. Ooh, the Karutas. So we've got a Latias Karuta 10. What do you think this should be priced at? We are. I honestly don't know what this is worth. It's not a pristine 10. Hey, what's up, TM Rocket? How's it going, man? Thanks for stopping in. How are you tonight? Latias. Ooh. So let's type in Karuta. Latias. Okay, there is actually one for sale online. It is $49. That makes our job really easy. We're going to match that. 49. There we go. All right. Here's Giratina. Okay. What do you guys think of these Karutas? A reminder to like the stream. All right. If you guys want to beat daytime, you gotta like it. Giratina. Okay, cheapest one is 69. So he's a little more desirable, perhaps. Okay, here we are. Very nice. It looks like you guys already beat the daytime stream score. Wow, nice job. You did that within the first 85 minutes. You guys did good. Pretty sure you win. Yeah, they were taking their sweet-ass time over there in that. That was a horizontal stream, by the way. What's the data on the horizontal stream from today? So the data in the announcements channel. Oops. We're comparing the two streams. So when we go over to announcements, the data says that the daytime stream, which was a little less than 2 hours long, had 102 peak concurrents, 700 chats, 42 likes, and only 560 views for the whole stream. That's really low. That is not a high number. I guess it's a daytime stream. You know, maybe our expectations of the streams have gone up over time so that you expect them to do really well. All right, so here we are. This is supposed to be 69, I guess, huh? Very nice. Okay. And then here's the card that will probably definitely sell. It is the Gengar. Everyone buys Gengar for some reason. There's no way not to sell Gengar. He always sells. Ooh, got some Minecraft music. The aliens are coming. No! Okay. So let's look up Gengar. Gengar. He is pretty affordable. He's also $69, just like the Giratina. Okay. Good. Well, these slabs are starting to get pushed forward enough that they're not fitting on the screen anymore. Here's a refresh. All right, we have no orders in the queue, no orders in the queue. This is our live rip and ship channel. If you guys would like to participate, check out the description of the live stream. This is how you can see how to pay for cards and what's for sale. So the three little dots in the upper right-hand corner up here, press that three little dots and you'll find the description, all right? You can also see these cards that we're pricing up for sale right up front. These are the graded slabs. We go off of cheapest buy now prices, pretty straightforward. Take a look at that beautiful stuff. Charmander 9, Zubat, Greninja 9, Glalie 9, Gengar 10. Lots of 9s, lots of 10s. This Primal Groudon might end up being a card that sells. He would also be an interesting mega break in the future. Primal Groudon. He's only 2,000, so it puts him in the range. Hey, mister, do you have any Gengars? Yeah, I collect a lot of Gengars myself. Let me get a really nice one for you guys. I'll show it to you, okay? I'm a Gengar collector. I like them. Let's see. Someone else must have decided they liked him too, because his price went pretty wild over time. Here it is. So I'm going to pull out my best Gengar for you and bring it over here. So here's my best Gengar. I think it's my best one. And it's the very desirable Masaki Gengar promo, the original promo, not the one where it's, wow, this sleeve looks like it could be a new sleeve. So this is the original promo, not the web version of the card. Now the web version has crept up to like $10,000 or $12,000 too, hasn't it? It's ridiculous numbers. Where are my sleeves? Ah, Steve the Sleeve. Here it is. Oh, what kind of break would you guys like me to host? Any breaks that we don't currently have on the table that you wish was on the table? We are. All right. Oops. Okay. All right. Ooh, it looks so nice when you get a nice sleeve on it. Doesn't that look good? And so that's 12K, huh? We're going to write that information down again. 12K. And it's going to say 323 on it. So purchased during 2023. And it looks like he was population 58 when I bought him. He is now 62. So he's gone up. Let's see if we can find any information on this card. Do you have any signed Pokemon cards? I've got an Arita signature, and I caught a couple of these James Cathcart signatures. The voice of Meowth, the voice of Professor Oak, the voice of Gary Oak. Okay, so PSA 10, Gengar, Masaki. Ready? There is a Masaki Gengar for sale in Italy for $34,000. Right there. No one's going to buy that, trust me. No one's, it's too risky. Italy, I've been scammed by Italy. So see this one with the authenticity guarantee on it. So that's going to be the one to sell right there. This one for $50,000. Let's click on that real fast. 188 saves. So there's people who are tempted. If he sells for 50, then the card goes from 12,000 in value to 50,000 in value in theory. That's the comps anyways. It looks like he has not sold in a while. Wonder what the last sold on this Masaki Gengar is. He's a special Gengar. Very rare. Any for sale and stacked there for sale? Yeah, we just placed a Gengar up here for $69. He might sell pretty fast. If he doesn't sell tonight in tonight's stream, well, you know, wait until we hit around Friday. He'll sell. He'll be gone. And we could put him up in the live customs or the... wow, isn't that beautiful, guys? I'm going to place this guy to my left. He's one of my favorite cards. I like being able to show him off quickly. All right. Big Mac Pikachu. You like the Big Mac Pikachu? You want a Big Mac Pikachu break? Who here agrees that there should be a Big Mac Pikachu break? Does anyone here say there should be a Big Mac Pikachu break? All right, I'm going to hit refresh. I'm going to go ahead and rotate these. Here's Tyranitar. Masaki Gengar, last sold 18.7 thousand. Okay. Maybe up about 50%-ish. 50%. That's not bad. I think he's a really expensive card, and I bought him, you know, for a premium back then. So, you know, he was already kind of pushed up in price. And I've seen some cards do better than that, huh? Better than 50% increase in value. More like ×4, ×3, ×2. Some cards do really well. Look at this little Gengar we got right here. That was Roderick Gray's Gengar. Yeah, I love being able to pick up some slabs here and show you guys some cool slabs. That's a lot of fun. There. I was taking risks when I bought these, you know, $12,000. This was like $4,000 when I bought it. This one was a whopping $19,000 when I bought it. So Gyarados becomes one of the most expensive cards I ever bought. And now looking back on it, $19,000 is cheap. It's like, man, I wish I could buy it for $19,000. But I'm curious about this Gold Star Mudkip. Gold Star Mudkip. Midkip. Mudkip. I did it again. I typed it with the Y. That's so annoying. All right. The cheapest Gold Star Mudkip. The cheapest one, which doesn't show up. Okay, let's sort by highest price. That's so annoying. I don't know why eBay does that crap. So the cheapest Mudkip is now $72,000. That doesn't even make sense to me. That's the cheapest one, $72,000. What? How can that be right? Let me check sold. Okay, so that price does not reflect the market price. On August 18th, 2025, he sold for only $14,000. Okay, so there you go. From $4,000 to $14,000. Pretty good. And that price is a bit more reasonable. Maybe next time he sells for $16,000. I don't know. That's a bit more reasonable. You are. What's a card you thought would do well and you invested into it, but it didn't do well? That's a great question. You know, the problem with that question, Sarah, is that they all did well. So if it was a Pokemon card, it went up. But what you could argue is some cards did much better than others. So that's a different way of looking at it. Like, I can't say that there's any cards that I was really disappointed in, but some cards just did much better than the rest. And so if I'd exclusively bought those, I would have gotten wealthier. So like, for example, Evolving Skies has gone up way, 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 way more than Fusion Strike. So you should have bought no Fusion Strike cases, and you should have only bought Evolving Skies cases. But I wouldn't say in the last year that I can say any of my Pokemon cards have struggled or done poorly. They've all gone up. But there have been years where, like, modern cards did very, very poorly. Like, they performed poorly as a hold. Let's go ahead and rotate this again. What do we have? We've got Raichu Alone Raichu, Slowpoke, and that is a gym break waiting on one person to join for $32. Pokemon Go Tyranitar. So you guys want a McDonald's break? All right. Let me go grab a McDonald's card. I'll be back. Let me think about it, okay? I'll think about it. Problem is, he's not really a card that is worth breaking. Slobo with the old Windows background. He's not like at a price level that is worth being a break. What if I hosted like 3 of them and they all went out and graded? Just thinking about it. I should actually send all these out to grade. There's no reason to do that. What I like to do with them is not sell them at all. I like to hold them, and then a year later when I go, oh, I'm glad I didn't sell those, then we grade them. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What's the difference between me selling this right now as a break instantly versus just sending it out to grade? I think I'm supposed to send these out to grade. We are. I got to think about this. I would be open to that, just like the Van Gogh Pikachu. The Van Gogh Pikachu is a different story, I feel like. I feel like the Van Gogh Pikachu, he was a higher risk scenario. Maybe that's why he made sense as a break. These aren't high risk at all. They're like the opposite of high risk. They're commons. The felt hat Pikachu, that was a risky card. That's what's going on. And so as a break, you were taking the risk when it got sent out to grade. That was what was going on. My brain's trying to formulate why it's resistant to the idea of selling the Pikachus right now. And it's because it knows there's not a lot of risk with the Pikachus. It's very interesting. I'm going to set them to the side for now. I'll keep thinking on it, okay, guys? We are. If you are interested in one of those Pikachus, have you thought about joining the binder break, which is a 1 in 7 odds? And here you can see the McDonald's Pikachu is in there, along with a fresh box topper and Reshiram, Greninja, Mewtwo Armored. We tossed this one in recently. Here's Blockbuster Mewtwo, and then just a whole bunch of more cards. Whole bunch of stuff. All right. Wave Kingdra, do you buy playing cards too? I would be open to that. Sarah Dusenberry's coming back in. She said, I'll go another round. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate it. All right, let's see. Here's Miss Sarah. She says, another box. Wait. Let me hit refresh on this. Refresh. There we go. Now, Sarah says, one more box of Shiny Treasures. Not bad, not bad. All right. Shiny Treasures Enjoyer. That's what we're going to have to start to call you. All right, here we are. What I ought to do is I ought to take a slow day and I ought to work on the menu a bit. But actually, you know, it wouldn't be a bad idea for me to do a short stream on this Tuesday because I have to wake up at like 12, which is halfway through my sleep. So I have to get up really early for today. For Tuesday, I have to get up super early. You are? All right. Need the Zard or Gardevoir? The Zard or the Gardevoir it is. Tossing this. Miss Saladusamabe. Let's see what we got. Snipping this. Let's sneak these. Okay. And let's sneak these as well. All right. Very nice. Here's... No! Wigglytuff right away. I'm sorry. Maybe the baby shinies will be good. I'm sorry. Freaking Wigglytuff, dude. I swear, they put that Wigglytuff in there just to mess with you. What's the chase card in this set? Not Wiggly. Ooh, Charmander's not bad. That's a good one. Okay. Now you have Pidgeotto. You got Friends in Scarlet Violet. Good. Curse of the Wigglytuff. Yeah, that's a Wigglytuff curse. Here's that. Here's this stupid guy who we do not care for. All right. Okay. Here's Iron Tusk. And... oh, I like that Ditto. He's cute, man. Look at this Ditto, guys. Isn't that adorable? Ditto's a cool Pokemon. Okay. Makes you wonder how he works. Yeah, he's a lot more... like, Wigglytuff is just like a pink whatever she is, right? Garden Gnome. But Ditto transforms into anything. He's like a clone Pokemon. How does that work? I do need that Ditto. So, yay! All right. I'm loving it. Oops. Toss that away. Tossing this over here. And Miss Sarah. Now, Sarah, I think last time we forgot to actually remove the hollows from the shiny treasures. Is that right? That's what we did. We forgot to remove the hollows from the shiny treasure. I'm going to do that this time because that will make a little more room in your bag. And we'll put this right up here. Here it goes. Okay. How nice. Shiny Charmander and Ditto's not bad, to be honest. Ooh, shiny Charmander and Ditto. Good. All right. Whew. Let's go ahead and rotate this. We've got the Espeon break. 2 people are in there now. The Marshall D. Teach break. Sarah, I'm giving you a free spot in here. Here you go, Sarah. Your name's now Sarah D. Teach. Okay, you got a free spot in there. You know why? Because you did some big orders tonight, and I appreciate that. You kind of keep... this stream brought to you by Sarah Dulceberry. Yeah, those were some nice orders. I really appreciate that. Let's get this Manga 1 open. Here it is. So Manga 1 takes on a new card. Let's count these 2. It should be 6 now, right? I'd die if I got him a 3rd time. I think you need him a 4th time. Well, you know, if you do get him again, do yourself a favor. Just list them up on eBay, and then you'll be cashed out. It'll be nice. I also offer the ability to take your cards and send them off to a consignor, if you guys didn't know that. So that is possible for me to ship it forward to a consignor. So that is 6 out of 17, everybody. There's 11 spots remaining on Marshall D. Teach. You got a free $40 spot tonight. Okay, we have no orders in the queue. If you guys would like to participate in the stream, your orders are the entertainment of the night. Okay, so you want to feel entertained? Open a couple packs. jump into a break, do something new, scare yourself, go do something scary. Check out the description by heading over to the 3 little dots in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. That's going to open the description for you where you can see how to pay for orders and you can see what we have for sale. And we got a variety of breaks here. Let's move those breaks off to the side for the moment. Okay, move those off screen for a moment. Kind of recenter this. Tonight is all about pricing up the CGC return. We want to get that priced up, and we want you guys to see what we have. Okay, let's get a rotation. That's a nice Anthony Kalura card, isn't it? We're coming to the end of August. It's August 26th, so we're really close to the end, and we want to start preparing for the new month, which will be September. We want to take a picture of all the consignment slabs again, get their prices updated, and I didn't manage to rotate through all of my cards. So I have too many cards. I didn't rotate through it all. Of course, I could probably blame that on myself. I just didn't work hard enough on it, maybe. You know? Thank you, mister. No problem. All right, here is Blasty Boy. Ooh. He's really pretty. This is a very nice Topps 9. This was crossed over from PSA. We were hoping to see if maybe some higher grades were had. What I learned was that not really. PSA cards don't seem to be worth regrading. They don't seem to upgrade. They did poor when we regraded them to tag. Looks like PSA might actually be the one that grades the Topps cards kind of nice. That was what our little experiment kind of brought out to us. Okay, let's see. Ooh, what just got listed? Nothing. All right. Always keeping an eye on the internet here. We're going to say CGC. Oh. You know, to be honest, I do not know what this will cost. Blastoise. Because this is a very unique Blastoise. This is a Cosmic Hollow Blastoise. I'm dead tired. Did you collect Pokemon cards as a kid? I did. I collected... I was one of the most prolific collectors in my neighborhood. I was really rabid about it. And I was like one of the last people to still be collecting when everyone else kind of gave up on it. So, you know, people gave up on collecting and I was still going. And it was just me and another guy named Vincent. And we just collected for a long time. All the way to Neo Destiny. See, a lot of guys kind of gave up when any of the Neo sets came out. The new Neo sets came out and they looked very different. And people were just like, I'm done with it. You know what I mean? They were like done. Pokemon in general, people were done with. The Neo sets came out and people were already kind of tired of Pokemon just in general. And by the time Neo Destiny was coming out, Pokemon was getting ready to release Pokemon Sapphire, Ruby Sapphire. So it was going to be a whole different Pokemon game at that point. And so people were really done with the cards. The fad has sort of died down. You know, Pokemon cards in that time period was a fad. It wasn't this concrete thing back then. It was a brand new toy. In 1999, it was a brand new toy. So after a couple years of it, people were like, I'm tired of Pokemon. It wasn't something that anyone hated, but it wasn't like this thing where you were so crazy about it as you were at the launch. And at the height of the Pokemon card excitement, you just didn't have that level of excitement anymore. People were like, oh, cool, another Pokemon. Neopets, yeehaw. You like the Neopets? I remember Neopets. We are. Okay. Put that there. There's a sandstorm at Burning Man. I want to go to Burning Man. Here's, oops, we got an order in the queue. Let's take a quick look at that. Why would you CGC, says Uber Gaylor. Hey, what's up, Mr. Uber Gaylor? How's it going, man? Mark J. Valerian, can I do a bag sort on my bigger bag? Just want to check to see what I got. You got it, man. Bag sorting time. To me, it sounds like you really don't like CGC. And that's okay. You can hold your own opinion. Everyone can have their opinion of each grading company. I take CGC seriously because their parent company is a really serious company. I think CGC has the most volume of grading. Isn't that right? So it goes PSA by, they're like way up here. And then like CGC's down here. And then everything else is even further down. So I take them seriously. I like them for a particular scenario where you have a borderline card and you wish it could grade 10 instead of 9. Did we already check this one? Here's that Rude, Blastoise, Poliwhirl, Mr. Mime, Blastoise, Arbok, Charizard. So we might have already been in this bag. Is that right? Like that Typhlosion, the Gengar's cool. Psyduck, Flareon. I can't believe Legendary Collection booster boxes were on sale for $30 in 2002. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, right? Isn't it? It's really crazy. And now, you know, the collection Charizard, he goes for, you know, like whatever it is, $40,000, $30,000 now. I don't remember. What did he last sell for? I don't remember. I like this Gengar a lot. Okay, so I like your Charizard. I like your Gengar. A lot of hollows in here. Legendary Collection was hated back then. Was it really? I don't remember that. I don't think I collected that set. Did that set come out after Sky Ridge? When did Legendary Collection actually come out? Because I think I skipped that one completely. All right. Ready? Do you think that CGC is the nicest 2 vintage right now? Yeah, it might be that they're the nicest. I like this Dragonite. War Turtle. He's nice. Snorunt. Gengar, Saucebuck. Oh no, not the yawns. What time is it? 3:51. Okay, you got your tag Charizard, your Venusaur. Did I say tag? Okay, Monkey Dory, your Reshiram. Hi Dragon, he's kind of nice. A little slack off. I don't think you'll grade him. Master Ball. Simisear. A little Snow Cone. Tepig's pretty good. A little Dragonite Hollow, Erica's Invitation. Bulbasaur is good. Zapdos Altart, that's good. A little Pikachu Reverse. All right, so there we have it. So, aren't those energies super hard to pull? Are they? I don't think they are. They're all over the place. There's Charizard, plus nobody wants them. Zapdos Alt, that's cool. Got some Master Balls. Oh, no, not the Yawns, man. Charizard, Venusaur, those are all nice. All right, there you have it. What'd you think of that, Mark? Got some hits pulled out for you to look at. I don't know. I got a PSA 8 on my base set Charizard. PSA 8? What? He should be my Charizard. What about me? All right. I saw a Tag 10 double colorless energy listed for $775. MJV hits. Scooby-Doo. All right. Nice. So that's called a bag sort. Those cost $3 if you'd like a bag sort. We also grade your cards for $3 if you want me to hand out a grade on your cards. Some people use that to figure out what their cards are going to grade. All right, let's go ahead and sleeve this guy up. I wish I could force the day to have 4 extra hours so I could sleep. Mister, you want my gold psychic energy card? It's tempting. I don't ever mind free ones, but now I've already put your bag away. Let's see. So here's the Eevee. Look at this nice Eevee. If I have a golden psychic energy card, I'll be able to predict the next best Pokemon thing. Okay, so this is CGC 10 Karuta EV. Ready? Oops. Okay, he is a $50 Eevee. I don't know. I feel like he's more like 45. Let's make ours 45. Ours is cheaper. Good. Okay, now we have a Mimikyu. He's very cute. Look at that Mimikyu. All right. You can have it. I already got one here. Ooh, I'll keep that in mind. When I run by it, maybe I'll grab it. Okay. All right. Mimikyu. No Karuta Mimikyus, huh? That's interesting. Ooh, he last sold for $70 as a pristine, but that's a pristine. So let's make this cheaper than a pristine. Okay. Collection boxes are back on the menu. What? Thank you, Mr. Mark, for the order. Let's hit refresh. We have an, oops, we're going to hit reload. Hyper rares are only 1 in 51 packs. So this is Miss Sarah. She says 2 Destined Rivals packs. Destined Rivals is back on the menu. Oh, let me, I might not have actually updated it. Where is it? Pokemon English. Nope, Glory of Team Rocket is available. I did update it. Wait. Glory of Team Rocket, that's the Japanese set. Ah, it says coming soon under English. All right, it is no longer coming soon. It's actually here. So Destined Rivals is here, everybody. One of the best English sets to open right now. Definitely one of my favorites. There's just so many good cards to go after. So many different ways for you to potentially earn your value back on the packs. Definitely one of my favorites. All right. 1, 2, Destined Rivals. Ow. Okay. 151 English pack. 1 Merlin sticker. 1 Full Metal Alchemist. The Merlin stickers are still on the menu. I thought I took that down. Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist. So there's that. Here's this. 1 Full Metal Alchemist. 1 Weiss Hello Kitty pack. Where are we keeping the Weiss Hello Kitties these days? I really don't know. Right, but here's a Weiss Hello Kitty over here. I see one over here, but it's a sealed box. Do we have an open box? Oops. Meow. If I get a 3rd Psychic Gold Energy, I'm going to be reading into the future. I always wonder if people at Blizzard are still stealing milk. Ew! Did you guys see the guy in the UK, the police officer, who got in trouble? He's going to jail for a little while because he got caught stealing a girl's panties out of her dresser or something like that. He was like doing an investigation in the room and he didn't know he was being filmed. And you see him open up the panties drawer, take a pair of panties and stuff them in his pocket. Oh my God, dude. Men. 2 Gundamned packs. Here it is, Gundamned. Here it is, 2 Gundamned. 1 of the Nintendo tattoos. Oh, very interesting. Nintendo tattoos. 1 My Little Pony. 1 KU Naruto. Well, you're sending me on the goose chase. Let's see if we can find all this. So here's the tattoos pack. You guys want me to put these probably extremely toxic tattoos on my skin? I'll put a Mario tattoo on. Now, My Little Pony. I have not gotten a My Little Pony out in My Little ever. When was the last time we got a My Little Pony, guys? Do you remember? My Little Pony. Oh, I found the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. That's cool. Okay. My Little Phony. Where's that going to be? Here's the Narutos. What happened to all the Bernie people? I don't think we had that many to begin with. Sure. I sold a box of the My Little Ponies on eBay the other day, though. For like $140. What is this? Oh, there's a packet of these Trump. Oh, it's a bunch of packets of the Trump cards. Okay, so that's where those went. Okay. I'll pull this forward. So I found the Time to Mine cards. Here's the... I don't see them. I know there's a box of My Little Ponies somewhere because they don't sell too fast. Ah, there they are. I found them. My Little Pony. You just have to unbury them. 1 KU Naruto, 1 Peanuts Part 1, and 2 Yu-Gi-Oh! Ghosts of the Past. Okay. Yu-Gi-Oh! Ghosts of Future Morning. Now the Charlie Brune should be over here somewhere, right? No? Am I wrong about this? Here's Charlie Brown Part 2. I think Charlie Brown Part 1 is right next to me. Got this. Good. Come on now. All right. There we are. So you just want to have a little fun tonight. Sarah said, open a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You basically put together your own version of the jumbo pack break. Let's get started. Ooh. So I'm going to start by removing this. We're not going to open this, right? That stays sealed. And now let's do the Merlin pack. It's not a standard pack. Ooh, I think my music just stopped. Blue Eyes, White Charizard. Okay, ready? All right, I kind of became an expert in peeling these stickers open. Officer Jenny, when I first bought these stickers, I was selling them for, I think, like $8 a pack. It is. And there were 100 packs in the box. And that was a really, really crazy profit margin back then. Here it is. And we sold so many boxes of them for such a long time. Like, we just blasted through them. Then the cost to restock them went up and the demand went down. Isn't that interesting? Hey, 6 member for 27 months. Wow, thank you so much, 6. I really appreciate it. We are. We've had some good memories. We are. Let's see. 27. 27 years old. All right. Sneap. 6, what do you want to be when you're all grown up? Astronaut? Cowgirl? What did you guys want to be when you grew up? When I was a kid, I wanted to be a lawyer. We are. I remember distinctly thinking I'd make a good lawyer. Here's Naruto. I didn't think I'd be a stinky card guy. Here we are, sticking this. Firefighter. You got me hooked on cards. I pulled that Weiss in one pack. What's the best? Nice. Here you are. You've still had a couple good moments like that. Like you just pulled the double ARs earlier. I don't know yet. What do you want to be when you're all grown up? I wanted to be a cop and then a lawyer, then neither. Yeah. There you are. Cops and lawyers and judges. Oh my. All right. Shortstop for the Dodgers. The shortstop. I want to be the shortstop for the Dodgers. Hey, what's up, Phil? He says, hi, mister. What's up, man? How's it going tonight? Hope you're having a great night. So we're starting with this crazy tank-looking guy coming out of Gundam. And this saucy mama, she looks really kind of angry and determined. I vaguely remember wanting to be an archaeologist. Is it just me, or have I met tons and tons of girls who say they want to be archaeologists? I don't know if it's just me, but I swear to God, I've met so many girls that are very interested. Oh, that's a great pull. Speaking of digging things up, we just found Houndoom. That is I think that's a top 10. Look at that, guys. There's the Houndoom. Wow. It's the good, what do they call that? We're Morbin, guys. It's the good karma. Sarah's like the main person opening cards tonight. This is all yours tonight. You got that free spot in the Sarah D Teach break. Here we are. Here's Goldeen. Oh, look at that Goldeen. Machuk, you got that nice Pikachu out of Shiny Treasures. Now you're picking up Houndoom AR. If that grades 10, that's a big flip, I'm pretty sure. Something fun about pulling old pots out of the ground. There you go. I've never met anyone who wanted to be that. Dude, one of the girls I grew up with on our street, she became an archaeologist. My sisters are interested in archaeologists. Like everyone I've ever dated has been interested in archaeology. I don't understand it. I keep running into girls that want archaeology. We are. Ooh. I'd be a bad archaeologist. I'd smash it all. I hate smart brats like you. All right. So we got Wrath and Louis Armstrong. Ooh. Here's Naruto. Nothing crazy coming out of the Full Metal Alchemist set. Here's Naruto. You pull this girl. There's also this like poster you get behind it. It has like a film over it so that it can remain glossy, not get scratched. But yeah, check that out. Ooh, that's a UR ultra rare. Now we've got Hello Kitty. Meow. Look at those Hello Kitties. Meow. Guess I'm going to be an archaeologist now. What happened when the archaeologists find Sister's Pokemon Vault? Women always digging up the past. I know that's a funny joke. I want to be a rat sanctuary owner. Here's Blue Jay, Applejack, Sweet Apple, Acres, Drill Bit. Oh, baby. All right, now we're talking. All right, you got one drill bit. So that card has like a line running through it? I guess it's got like a line running through it. Like a weird looking wavy line. Ooh. All right. That would have been a crazy one-pack snipe if you pulled a ghost rare. So the ghosts from the past have a chance for a ghost rare. It's very cool. Now, these are the Charlie Brown cards. Whoever heard of a field trip to a barbershop? Nobody here but us scarecrows. Okay, troops, gather round. Peanuts Classics. If you're going fishing, I know the perfect place. Now, what you have to know is when you flip these over, you get the whole story. Try the bridge up near the end of the road. What a stupid suggestion. Cars keep running over my line. He's not fishing in the lake. He's fishing on the road. Oh, Charles Schultz. I'm sorry, ma'am. I can't seem to concentrate. Wow, that one's really old. You can tell by the drawing style. Here's the World War I flying ace down behind enemy lines. Okay, he's in love with Marcy. And first I was surrounded by doctors and nurses. Now everyone's gone. Yeah, these were made a really long time ago. Isn't that crazy? Okay, nice. How did the boat go? How did the boat thing go? The guy came over here. He looked like he was probably about 45 years old. He is an older guy with a wife and 2 kids. And yeah, we got the boat opened up and in the water, and then the battery failed to start, and he's like, I got a battery charger. So he went off to his truck, and we thought it was going to be kind of a disaster because we tried to start it and it wouldn't start. But the funny thing is we use it so little. That's why it wouldn't start. I was like, yeah, we haven't used it in like, a really long time. We forgot where we hid it. So anyways, he has a battery charger, charges the battery on it real fast, and then we start it up, and he seems to enjoy it. We negotiate a price. He gets it a little cheaper than what we listed it on Craigslist, and he's going to come pick it up on Wednesday. When you lose the last game of the season, it's going to be a long winter. Here's so Peanuts 2 is interesting because I think it's all sports cards. Like, look at this one. Do you take excuses? My second baseman is asleep. All right, so there you go. Lots more of these Charlie Brown cards, but this time it looks like they're going to be only sports comics. There we go. Congrats on selling the boat. Yeah, I'm so happy. I only lost thousands of dollars. Yeah, it was a big waste of money. We even bought like this extended warranty for it that we didn't need because we never used it. He was like, how many hours on this boat? And I was like, man, I bet you there's only 3 to 4 hours. And he looked at me like, all right, like he didn't believe me. And then when it was time to put the boat away, he's like, is there a way I can look up the hours from the boat? I was like, there probably is a way. And we figured it out. It just says on the dashboard how many hours on the boat, 3.8 hours. So that boat you saw me driving around, I drove it only 3.8 hours in like the last 2.5 years. I virtually didn't touch it. Most of that time was just the drive back from the dealer after we bought it. So a lot of the time on the boat was just when we drove it back. I bet boats are similar to timeshares. You should offer boatway. It's been. It was an expensive lesson. Yeah, I would say so. The lesson, you'd be surprised. The lesson is I don't like boats that much. That's the lesson. So there wasn't really anything wrong with it. I just don't play with boats. I work on my card stuff. I work on my card collection and I work on my YouTube channel. That's what I focus all my time into. And so, if you're a guy who likes to spend all day outdoors, washing off your boat, working on your boat lift, getting bit by mosquitoes, getting burnt by the sun, fishing, playing with your boat friends who love being on a boat. If you're that guy, it's a good toy. But I'm an indoorsy video game and cards guy, and so I thought I was gonna love it, and I did not. Now, if I had to buy it again, this time I would buy a much faster boat. I would say it's not all just the fact that maybe I'm not a boaty person. It's a bit more to it than that. The other problem is that the boat itself was not that great. And so he's buying it, and I don't know how much he'll love it, but I managed to not put any hours on it because I knew after playing with it for a little while, I was like, nah, this is the wrong boat. I think one of the things I learned is that really you should be allowed to test a boat for a long time before you buy it, because that's also a great way to sort of like realize there's something wrong. One of the biggest problems I didn't like about it was it only got up to 30 miles an hour. The Tri-Tune got up to 40, and I thought the Tri-Tune was too slow. So this one only got up to 30. I was like, this is slow as hell, man. Whale Lord using Body Slam on a small Pokemon. All right, so let's see what's next. Yeah, it's a slow boat, and I don't like slow. I like fast. So if I had to get into the boat, I would want one that gets up to like 60 miles an hour on the water. One where like you can actually take it out and go somewhere, because it can travel. Well, all boats can travel, but if you're traveling at 30 miles an hour with no bimini, it's going to take like an hour to get anywhere, and you're going to be roasted like a little roasted chestnut. Talking about me, Mark? Let's see. I think you would have enjoyed that bit more if you had people to go out with. Yeah, that's a big problem too. We just don't have anyone to like enjoy the boat with. Like Karis climbs into the boat and I turn it on and we drive it, and it's very pretty outside and there's the trees and the water. And then it's almost depressing because you see nothing but families. And I don't see my family at all. And Karis's family is really small and they can't afford to come down here super often, and they just don't. Like they can't miss going to work. So it's, we don't see them as much. And it's stressful when they're over here anyways, because they come over and they just talk about, we're having this problem, we're having that problem. So they just come over and inform us all the problems they're having. It's like, it's not really a vacation when they come over, sadly. Yeah, it's rough. You're going to be at risk of a DUI if you don't have family to have fun on a boat. Slow boats are for entertaining. Fast boats are for cruising. A fast boat would be really nice, because if we had a boat that could get up to 60 miles an hour, we could actually travel the Lake of the Ozarks in a meaningful way, because we could get out there and go up to like, there's actually a really sexy, cool club full of sexy young people and sexy boats that park there. And so if we had a fast boat, we could drive all the way up to that and go partying there, I suppose, go dancing maybe, I don't know. Could crack out my dance moves. Mr. Need jet skis. We do like jet skis. And jet skis are nice. Steven Gonzalez for Slab Away on the Mimikyu in front of you. Oh, here it is, the Mimikyu, Steven Gonzalez. Steven Gonzalez. You got it, man. I was trying to remember if there's something I needed to do. Here we are. Let's go look this up. So, Mr. Steven, let's head over to Slab Away. You can get a Dodge Demon for over $140,000 with 20% APR if you want speed. What? The cigarette boats do races over here too. Lake MI is like a small ocean. Yeah, I've heard of that. I've seen it actually. It's so large that it feels like an ocean. So, Steven, maybe I'll get a cigarette boat someday. Steven, it says you've already got a Blue Eyes slab. I'll add this as well, though. So I'll have to say September 25, Steven Gonzalez, Mimikyu, 45. We'll apply $5 to it. So is that 40 now? Okay, it's such a small one. I guess I don't mind at all. It's not a big deal. I can take a ferry from Grand Haven to Chicago, but it's almost faster to drive around the lake. So large, it has its own weather system. This is Steven Gonzalez. Yeah, I'm pretty, I guess you could say I'm a lot wiser and more experienced with boats today. And maybe that's just kind of how they go. You have to make mistakes with them. I'll pay them both off next week. Yeah, it's no problem, man. I'm not worried about it. All right, so yeah, that one's not a problem. They're cheap slabs. Now we've got click Miss 6. She says 2 of the 151 China. China. Move this. Move this. Didn't we have some Chinese? Oh, here they are. I would like 2 Chinese, please, and 1 Persia. That Pokemon is names checklist. This is the checklist card. Topps always has a card that's the checklist card. See? The checklist. And it's referring to all the cards in the set. So you can see the name of all the cards in the set. How nice is that? And that one has a nice holographic Lugia on it. We're asking 175. All right, let's get it. The rocks on my chain are blue, just like Pepsi, and the bullets will skip over your waves, just like jet skis. What? They are. All right, very nice. Oh, yeah. All right. Oh, that's not bad at all, Miss 6. Little Master Ball Gengar. I see how it is. And a little Arcanine. Mr. Sick Ryan, bro. What? Not bad. Yeah, you just been getting lucky lately, huh? The breaks, the packs. That's pretty good. All right. I have a really expensive baseball refractory checklist. 6 says cool. Yeah, I'd say cool too, man. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Set this up over here. Thank you for the order, 6. Now we have Latios coming up to the table. Here it is, Latios. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Mister, you need a yacht. The comforts of indoors on a boat. Yeah. Why sit in your family room when you can sit in your yacht? So a yacht, basically all the things you like about your living room, we just put that on a floating thing. There. Okay, so these both got 10s. They're a really cool pair. Let's get a price on him. I think you'd probably want to keep these together if you asked me. There you go. You know what's nice about the Karutas? The Karutas haven't blown up in price yet because PSA does not grade them yet. So right now they're somewhat pretty affordable. Oh, this is cool. Oh, man, that sexy-ass Cubone. I was hoping this would cross into a CGC 10 when I sent it in. This was originally a PSA 9, and I looked it up and down and backwards and forwards, and I said, this is so borderline. I said, there's got to be a chance that this turns into a 10. And indeed it did. How nice is that? Wow, that Gengar to 10 goes for around 300. He's a Master Ball Gengar. I mean, he's a good card, 6. Maybe you should consider grading him. We are. All right. I saw him, and you heard my reaction. I was like, wow. Okay. You ever had a favorite Filipino dish? When I was younger, we ate a lot of pancit. We ate a lot of chicken adobo. And we ate another one that I always forget the name of. Lumpias, I think. Lumpias. Whenever my grandmother was coming down, or my aunts and uncles from my dad's side were coming down, he would sit down at the table and he'd work for hours making lumpias, which are like egg rolls, but instead of being filled with like cabbage and pork and chicken, it's just filled with a piece of pork, nothing else. And they're deep fried and they're very crunchy. And you dip them in Catalina sauce, and which is a craft. It's like a red tangy kind of sauce, a vinegary kind of sauce. And so you would deep fry those. They were pastry wrapped little sausages, pork sausages. Those would be fried in oil. and they were crunchy. They were delicious. I mean, it was really good. And you dip it in the Catalina sauce. It was really good. Rocket returns. Cubone returns. Let's check sold. I gotta stop listening to this particular soundtrack. I've heard it too many times. I've heard it too many times. Let's check the PSA 10 on this. I like Adobe files. Oh yeah, lumpia and adobo is amazing. Yeah, my dad knew how to cook all that stuff, and he was always talking about how, you know, we're Filipino, and I didn't really think much of it because it was so normal. But, you know, look at, wow, the PSA 10 of this Cubone sold for $810. 810. Now that's the PSA 10. Here it is. You can see that's an auction, by the way. So that's a new record price for the Cubone. Now here is the CGC 10, and there's none listed. I'm going to do half price probably. So we're going to pop this one up there for about $400. Gotta play Minecraft music. Ever had Turin? Maybe. Well, what is it? My grandma often cooked fish dishes, but it was just fish, you know. But they liked cooking with, you know, just like interesting tasting ingredients. There was a lot of lime juice and fish sauce. You know, one of the things my dad really liked, and maybe his way of eating would sort of, what would be the word, like pre-shadow or whatever the term is, the way I like to eat. He liked this really stinky thing that I could not stand, and it was fermented baby shrimp. It was a fermented baby shrimp paste, and it was so horrible when you smell it. Your nose hairs curled when you smelled it. You're like, holy, what the hell is this? And he would put a big scoop of it. He would take like a scoop of it, put it on his plate with the rice and whatever meat we were eating, and he'd be dabbing that in. It was really salty. Think of it like an anchovy, if anchovy could smell extra dead. It was so horrible, and he just loved it. He just chowed out on it. Did you hear about that asteroid that has a 2.7% chance of hitting Earth? It's called Apophis. It's hard to say that. Turin's like lumpia, but it's a dessert with grilled plantains inside and syrup on top. No, we never tried that. Sounds good. Yeah, I can see how that would do well, but definitely only ate lumpia. So he would put together a huge plate of the lumpias, a big tower of them, and then he'd deep fry them. And my grandma would sometimes make those at her house, and she would definitely make the pancit. So she liked making the pancit. My grandma, you know, when I think back on her, she was an attractive woman. I can see why my grandpa married her and brought her back to the United States. She was kind of like tall, she was fit, and yeah, she had a great facial structure to her. You know, those are all important, right? And yeah, he met her in the Philippines when he was on duty for the Navy. My grandfather had a very bad childhood, a very bad life, and he came back to America with nothing. Yeah, he has an interesting story. I got to talk to him a couple years ago, like an adult. You know, I didn't get to talk to him very much. Miss Six says 2 more of the Chinese 151s. You got it. Here we go. So, anyways, he I guess he had a bad father who left, and then the mother remarried, and that guy like died, and then the mom died, so he became an orphan. My grandfather became an orphan. And then he went and lived with his aunt and uncle. That's where he got the last name Caton. That's where my last name comes from. And so now that I know that, oh my gosh, Six, you pull another Gengar. Oh, look at that. And a little Pidgey. All right. There we go. So he has a half-brother, I guess, because of his second father or something like that. And anyway, so the family that adopts him and his half-brother, they eventually, when he goes off to the Navy at like 18, they kicked all of his stuff out and did not want to talk to him anymore after that. So they kicked all his stuff out, and he came back home from the Philippines with absolutely nothing. So I guess that's how it started for him. And he came back with my grandmother, who apparently was hard to get his grandmother back to America because the family that she came from, the dad was kind of like, well, you got to pay, you know, if you want to marry my daughter, where's my dowry or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you got to give me something if you want to marry her. So he had to scrounge. I guess he had to scrounge something together to give to the father to marry the daughter. Here we are. All right. But I guess that's kind of how it is, you know. Some guy comes from a foreign land and says, "All right, I'm taking your daughter away from you." You are. You're like, wait a second, that's not free. You can't just do that. You got to pay the toll. But that's what I heard, anyways. And remember, this is my grandfather. He's 85, so this is, you know, over 60 years ago. It's a long time ago. Different times, you know. Looks pretty good. 6. I would anticipate that this card should have a shot at the 10. There's some slide off centering top to bottom. I would not bother with black label. There's just a small break right there in the edge. Yeah, I would anticipate a shot at the black label. Or no, I'm sorry. Oh, no, wait a second. What is this up here? Let me zoom in on this corner. The way the light refracts off that corner almost looks like it was a bent corner at some point. I don't think it was a bent corner, but PSA, you know, they're pretty picky. They might be like, was this corner ever bent? Yeah, I'm going to say 9.5 plus on this one. I would definitely consider grading this, okay? Wait, why did I get a new sleeve? It already had a sleeve. I'll send for PSA. Sounds good. All right. Okay. Anyways, they came back to America and had a couple children. My dad, his younger brother, he has an older sister, right? So I have an Aunt Jean and Aunt Maggie, then my dad and my Uncle Gabe. I always thought he was cool, but my dad never liked him. Because my Uncle Gabe liked video games. You know, my dad did not. He thought they were bad for you. There we go. Okay. All right, Miss 6, just doing good. 6 is a grading machine. Graded cards, they gain a lot of value when you grade them. So if you pull something fresh out of a pack, you took a lot of risk opening that pack. You got to get your value back out of that. All right. I've been getting grade-worthy cards lately. Nice. All right, we'll grab this. I don't know how to tell Chinese from Korean from Japanese. Hawaiian or Spanish. Mr. Filipinos who grew up in the homeland most likely grew up in severe poverty. Yeah, so my dad eventually joined the Navy, and he served a tour in the Philippine Islands too. And he would speak about it all the time. He would speak about no toilet paper. He would talk about, you know, the toilet was just a tube in the ground. That was it. There was no toilet. It was just a tube. And you tried to, you know, go to the bathroom in it. And he talked about how everyone had farm animals still, and you'd feed them garbage. Like you'd feed your garbage to your pig, and then one day you'd kill and eat your pig. And he said he was pretty poor. Now, he would have been in the Navy a long time ago as well. So again, the Philippine Islands may have had more time to develop since then, but it was not doing very well a long time ago. And I don't know how it is now, but I'm sure they still have their issues. We have our issues here in America. You know, we have impoverished areas that don't look too great. But some countries deal with a lot of poverty. Island countries always, in my opinion, when you're living on an island, you're like at a disadvantage in some way, unless it's a huge island. If it's a huge island, that's a different story. But if you're living on a small island, I feel like small islands, their best shot is to develop really good tourism, because how are you going to build much industry on an island? You're you know, you're like surrounded by water, so it's much harder to develop factories to produce goods, because you're always going to have to send by sea, and nobody on the mainland's going to buy your stuff because they don't need to, because it's a small mainland. Mr. has my Leafeon, Umbreon, and Gengar out to grade. I know that is Mr. My first Game Boy ended up in our pond. I've been getting grade-worthy cards. I forgot, do they call the Philippines the motherland or the Fajaland? Island countries almost have to import everything. Yeah, so I feel like every time you're in an island, and in particular, if you're not a huge island, like I think UK and Japan are pretty big, but if you're just a smaller island, you're like at this huge disadvantage for growing your economy into something significant. But again, I think probably your best shot is to try and attract people based off of tourism. Tourism alone could generate a lot of money. So specializing in tourism should be your whole, desire, your whole strategy. Now this is called Snow White Nikke, Snow White Nikke signature. Okay. This card's so expensive as a 10, but we got a 9 on it. I'm sure in America, Samoa, it must be expensive there for imports. My solo leveling Siggy got a 10. I don't know how to see the population on it. I wonder how they calculate the off-centeredness of this card. Well, let's see how much a raw Snow White sells for. The PSA 10 version of this card sells for $233. Many of the signatures cost $200. Okay. I think I'll ask for. No, I gotta look at it one more time. Hold on. Let me look at it one more time. Okay. Okay. Not a lot of information on the sold cards. Oh, this is not the same card. How about this one? That is priced as high as the PSA 10. That does not stack up to me. So again, there's a PSA 10 of this card for $233. Okay. I think we're going to go way under that. I think we're going to sell this for just $80. I hope that's an appropriate price there. Okay. It can only go, the price can only go so low because it's like the raw version of the card has a certain value. 3 Chinese 151. I smell a Pikachu. Pikachu. You got it. All right. 3 of these. I bet he was... Oh, let's save this box. We need that box for shipping. Miss Alexis came in and got the shipping done today. How nice is that, everybody? There we go. Let's see. We got Abra. Oops. Dodrio. And Venusaur. All right, that would be the end of the box. So we would have a fresh box next, okay? But you did pretty good on these, didn't you? You got 2 Gengars out of here. One of them's a Master Ball Gengar. All right. I don't know how I'm going to find a life partner. Yeah, tell us a little bit about it. What do you think your biggest challenges are? Work it out. You know, sometimes if you work out your challenges and you see what you can work on and what your weaknesses are and what your strengths are, you can just focus on your strengths and try to stay away from your weaknesses. Funny thing is, his name is Mark. You're not alone. A lot of people have the exact same problem. When I went to college, I made it a very big deal for me to find somebody to date and marry. I was there for the education, obviously, but meeting someone as a serious sort of like marriage partner, that was pretty much at the top of my list. I was like, once I was signed up for classes, all I cared about was meeting people. Speaking about shipping, I got my package today. Thanks again. And Alexis, once again, did a great job. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. All right. So this is a Poker Lugia. I'm just bad at this stuff. I'm very intelligent, but I overthink it all the time. Yeah, true. Overthinking can be an issue. I typed in Polar Lugia. We're looking for a 9 of this, but I'm not seeing one. Here's a Beckett 9 for 125. Is that right? Let's see over here. Here's a Beckett 9.5 for 144. That's a sold one. So long, Baza. Okay, so we don't have a Beckett 9.5. We have a CGC 9. I'll be looking to just offload this card. Overthinking is dehydration for me. I'd be so jelly. Megatron goes hard. I'm going to change my name to Megatron. You are? Do-do-bitty-boo, scoobity-bee, skippity-pop. Do-do-do-bitty-boo, do-do-bitty. All right, let's see. Blasty boy. You know, as you get older, you get like wiser and more experienced. I was, you know, just keep meeting new people. I think one of the big mistakes people can make today, nowadays in 2025, a mistake you can make is not having something that you do where you go out. You need to have like a place that you go. You need to physically go out and talk to people. That could be like church. It could be work. It could be skew. It could be some club or something that you like to go to. Maybe you like to go to the bookstore and just run into girls at the bookstore. You know what I mean? But you need to be somewhere where you'll actually run into new people. I feel like that's so important. And then you just need to kind of cold call people. I'd say you just need to walk straight up to them and be like, hi, nice to meet you. I'm so-and-so. You know, let's see. Blastoise. They need information about who you are and why you should matter to them. Let's see. But I have this sense or feeling that nowadays people have such a severe problem with anxiety and depression, and they got to deal just with that, you know, just to get to the point where they can start talking to people like normal. Anxiety and depression, it's all over. Wow, that music sounds so nice. I remember this Blastoise. There you are. I had this Blastoise for a long time. It said regrade because it looked so good. So I can't find one of these for sale in a CGC 10. Let's go find the PSA 10 price on this. Should be like 2,000 or something. I don't remember. I like going out alone, mister. Just watch a movie by myself or eat at one of those old mom and pop diners. Let's see. So this shall be highest priced. And then we'll scroll down. So I see one for $2,000. So the PSA price on one of these is $2,000. So let's get the CGC price. All right. I just fall in love really fast, and they haven't thought that far. Some sort of study showed that men do fall in love much faster than women. There we go. There you go. You want a better shot at a girl or something, you should like learn poetry or music or dance or just something like that. Just some way to show off. Showing off is very important, and it has to be done in a way that says, I don't have autism. You know what I mean? Which is something girls are experts at detecting. Girls have like a radar in their brain, and they go, ooh, this guy's a little odd. There you go. They're extremely sensitive to that. I think it's because girls have to be able to detect if a guy's going to kill them later. You know? Girls have to know whether this guy's a little bit crazy and he's going to like get angry and follow her home. Be a rapper and you'll get all the girls. Yeah, well, no, that's actually not terrible advice. If you get into music and you're just good enough at it that you can show off that you do music, she's going to be like, he does music. And then you'll attract some girl just because of music. I know this is true because I've watched it. I witnessed it. I had a friend who did exactly that, and it worked like crazy. It worked so well. We are. Let's see. We're going to say Karuta. Charizard. You know, he wasn't blessed in the height department. He looked okay. He didn't look too crazy, but he wasn't like super tall and sexy that way. But he did just fine. He didn't have any problems with girls because he played the acoustic guitar and sang. And so, you know, if you reach that point where you can play the guitar in front of a crowd, you will be so much more confident when you talk to girls anyways, you know. The cream rises to the top. Make them fall in love with you. Don't be a rapper and you'll get all the girls. Just go to the gym and start wearing tank tops. It just gets easier after that. What he's trying to tell you is give up on girls and just find a gym bro. You can cuddle with your gym bro. Here we are. All right. You're looking in all the wrong places. You're looking for love in all the wrong places. There you are. Very nice. No, but, you know, being in shape definitely is important. Girls don't find it attractive to be out of shape. That's just how it is. Don't argue with it. Just go with it. You know, some girls maybe don't care too much. I mean, it's not impossible. It's just the more out of shape you are, the more narrow your pool is going to be. They don't benefit from you being out of shape, and you know, there's nothing particularly interesting about it. There we go. 89. How am I going to pick up hot chicks if I don't lose weight, guys? There we go. That is a Lugia Karuta. Wow. It's 441. I'm almost done pricing up the entire CGC submission. We did a good job today. They asked to squeeze your arm. It literally turns them on. I don't get it, but it's true. Well, I mean, girls are attracted to, you know, the opposite sex. So what guys have that girls don't have is muscle. So that makes a lot of sense if you think of it that way. This is going to say Dark Slow King. Okay. Oh, he's so good. Wow, this is a pricey freaking card, dude. $200 on this one. Well, how about that, guys? We really got a lot of cards priced up for tonight. Miss Sarah Dusenberry sort of led the orders tonight, all by her lonesome. Here we are. Here we are. If you have a big wallet, they will like to squeeze that too. Yeah, I guess. You know, I think girls appreciate a guy who has stability and they have money, but they don't like it if that's your whole personality, you know? And actually, when you watch the Scrooge movies, they like warn you against that. In the Scrooge movies, Scrooge stupidly loses his fiance because all he cares about is money. You know what I mean? So if you're like a guy with the personality of wet cardboard, but you have a bunch of money, she's not going to like fall desperately in love with you and be like, I love you, you love me. What we have is passionate and can't be replaced. So I would say those other subjects like poetry, singing, dancing, you know, something cool, those probably go much further than money. And but the money helps. So like if you're really broke and bad with money, that's going to be a downside. But if you offer a lot of stability and you're like, I'm good with my money and I make money, that's definitely a good thing. You know, they want to know that you're probably normal. Normal is the word, you know. Girls detect lack of normality very fast. They are detectors of that. Okay, so the Team Rocket Slowpoke shall be $48. That's pretty cheap. And the Dark Vaporeon. Dark Vaporeon will be $150. Is that right? $150. Wow. Wow. Thanks for the likes, y'all. Make a good predator. If you have a big wallet, they squeeze that too. It is. Girls want a guy who looks nice, dresses nice, smells nice, talks nice, and just kind of shows off some competency, you know? Some sort of, you know, like self-awareness, consideration. The whole confidence thing, that's an outcome of a guy who's got things figured out, you know? He's got things figured out and he can accomplish things, you know? Look at that. Oh, wow, those look really good. So there we go. The CGC submission, the entire thing got priced. Oh, wait. No. We got a few more that didn't get priced. Here they are. This Pikachu, this Spearow, and that Growlithe. Those three didn't get priced yet. I'm definitely not normal. LMAO. Well, don't give up. That's the worst thing you can do is give up. So don't give up. Just keep working on it, okay? All right, guys, it's 4:44. I can see we have no orders in the queue. Let's go ahead and wrap up here. We had a nice, what time is it? 165. So we had a nice 2 hour and 40-minute stream. Notably, not enough to keep the stream going. So we'll have to do a little more tomorrow. Probably my own fault for not advertising what we have for sale in, I haven't been doing that as consistently as I used to. So, but, I've been just spending more time off, relaxing. So it's like a trade-off, like, what do you want? More activity, or do you want to relax more? It's it's hard to say. I'll see you guys for the Tuesday nighttime stream, because I think I'm going to miss the Tuesday daytime stream. I think I'm going to miss it. I'll see you guys there. Have a nice night, everybody. And I'll share the data for this stream, okay? We'll see which stream performed better. See you later.